Yo, what is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? I hope everybody's having a fantastic weekend. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody today. Hopefully everybody is responsible today, but we know how, Philadelphians do. So, I normally don't drink at all. I don't really drink at all, to be honest with you. I drink on occasion, very rarely. But I hope everybody has a good day today. So, yeah, I was supposed to do the stream a little bit earlier today, but I had some things I had to do this morning. So obviously a lot going on to where we still have some things we need to discuss, some moves that need to happen, and it's like a wait and see approach on certain things. Now the Eagles did sign Oren Burks the other day, which I know it doesn't get everybody excited at this point, but I think when it comes to at least we're getting a lot of bodies at linebacker, at least for some of the competition. I know, we're getting Zach Bond and Oren Burks, Devin White. Devin White's probably the number one guy I'm pretty excited for, and I'm really hoping that he really turns himself around. So, I mean, look, you brought in E. Cooper on a pre-draft visit, and hopefully there are some, implications. Hopefully there, I don't know. I mean, hopefully what we do in free agency does dictate what we're going to be doing in this draft. And if linebacker is definitely high on the list, I'm hoping they're going that direction. They had like a high, one of the top linebackers in this draft. I mean, Cooper would be fantastic. I feel like they'll be set because they're going to have some really good, they're really going to be good around that. You know what I mean? And the competition will be great as some counter pieces to your number one linebacker in Philadelphia, which is a great thing. So, so we'll see what happens. But I want to thank everybody for joining the chat today. Yeah, I did add Oren Burks to the list. It is up on the top here. It's on the top of the screen. I have to make more room. So I'll make another thing to make more room for it. We got MJ, we got Jazz Fusion, Don Dunham, what's going on? Chinna Banks, Zalek Zenica, Twizdigger, what's going on, man? CZ, D-Mac, what's going on, man? He says, what up, Joey? Let's land Simmons soon. I'm hoping it does. I mean, I don't know if they're looking for another body at safety, but if the Eagles already had, I know the Eagles had interest in Justin Simmons before Chauncey, but I think they've wanted both of them. That's just me at the end of the day. I feel like they need to add another body there to Reed be your third. And I think Justin Simmons is just another talent added. Now you got Chauncey long term, which is a great thing. But I feel like the Justin Simmons thing needs to happen. And I haven't heard any news. So the more we don't hear about it every day, the better it is for us, because the price will drop. We'll see what happens. I got a message from somebody saying, all right, I'll message that guy. Someone asked me a question about something with the channel or something. I don't know what happened. Okay. All right, we good. So I want to know from you guys what you think the next move is going forward. I mean, look, I feel like we're very close to being done. I just feel like there is a couple more moves. There could be 3 moves. I mean, they think they could just sign Justin Simmons. They could trade for a corner. What I'm really surprised in, the Eagles as of right now are they're what? They're still at what? I don't know, what's the cap? What's the cap right now? What is that cap right now? Just to make sure we're on the same page here, because I know the cap did update for the Eagles. So the Eagles have the 4th most cap space, $39,189,325. So they still got a nice chunk of change, and still without Reddick being dealt. Seriously, without Reddick being dealt, they still have a good amount of change left. You know, like I said, the Hassan Reddick trade extension, whatever the case it is, I mean, that's $11 to $16 million in cap space. $11 million on the extension, probably more than that. I mean, goddamn, dude, it's just. I'm surprised, like, if it's taken them this long and they might be going in the draft for linebacker, I'm surprised that there wasn't somebody available for trade. You know, at least you're trading for a linebacker at some point. So that's what I was kind of figuring that we would have, you know, maybe would have done. But I knew the draft has some good linebackers in it. So this might be a wait and see approach. But if Hassan Reddick is not signed by the first day of April, okay, let's just say that. If he's not signed by sorry, let me put the chat back up. Sorry. If Hassan Reddick is not signed by the first day of April, I feel like something is going to happen. I don't feel like he is staying at that point. I mean, if they still can't even work this fucking contract still, I mean, if there's that many issues right now, then they have to have been working on the trade this whole entire time and getting the right compensation. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I mean, I guess we're going to find out, but what's up, Killer Ghost? John, what's going on, man? See. What's going on, Michael Stone? Chilling, man. Same old shit, different day. You know how it goes. How many people are drunk right now? Question. He said, "What up, Joe? What up?" Make money, not friends. We still have decent money to sign Justin Simmons. Yeah, we have plenty. I'm not worried about that. The price is going down. I mean, I don't know how much he's wanted, but it's got to be some short term type deal. You know, and hopefully they get something done for it. You know, due time. I have Burks. It's on the top. It's on the top. It's right next. It's where it says Eagles free agency on the screen. It's right at the top. You can see it. There. It's there. Because I don't believe we will, you know, we will though, unless it's in the later rounds, and if that's the case, it's not going to be him. Dawad Jones says Simmons' price has dropped, so he might sing for 5 or 6. I mean, if it's 5 or 6, that's fine. I mean, regardless, just bring him in, man. I don't know how. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to give up on this Justin Simmons shit until like he signs somewhere else. Okay, I'm not giving up on it because the Eagles have had. I mean, if the Eagles already had interest in him, they backed out. They might call his agent again and say, "Hey, let's give this, you know, let's give this another shot and try to get this thing done." You know what I mean? Jose, Reddick needs to happen ASAP. I'm hoping so, man. If they lose Reddick, then I mean, you're in the 7th day of free agency now. We have officially gone through less than pretty much a week of free agency now. It's really gonna hurt, man. It's really gonna hurt where if they get rid of him, then I don't know, man. It kind of, for me, it kind of makes sense now that they have to go, that they might have to go edge rusher in the first round. I mean, I guess, right? I mean, is that bad? Is that, you know, is it not going in that direction? I don't know, but Reddick is your best weapon from last year. I understand he's turning 30 years old in September. I understand all of that, but you know, if you're trying to win a Super Bowl, you're not rebuilding. You're not. I mean, that's a guy that you're definitely keeping on the roster for that right now. You know, so crazy, dude. It's crazy. And it's funny, every time the Eagles sign somebody, I swear to God, everybody on Twitter is always in the comment sections like, "Oh, how do the Eagles have all this money? How they, you know, they have unlimited money. How are they signing all these guys?" It's like, dude, like Howie Roseman is a cap wizard, knows how to move money around and knows how to get these contracts done, and he knows how to manipulate the cap. That's the number one thing. So yeah, so the Commanders have 63, Patriots have $58 million in cap space, Titans 55. Eagles 39, Bears 31.7, Lions 31, Cardinals 30, Bengals 29. So, you know, so at least that's the Eagles are fourth in cap space still right now, and that's without a Reddick move right now, which is insane, really insane. John, I hate to say it, I think Reddick will be dealt for the next move. Pray for at least a second. I don't think it's worth it, man. I don't think it's worth it. And if they do get a second round pick and they end up having 3 second round picks, you move up in this draft twice. Okay, now the Eagles barely had to move up last year, maybe a spot to get Jalen Carter. But I mean, if it's right now, you're gonna have to move up 2 times because you lose Reddick, you have a big hole at cornerback. I don't know what's going on at cornerback. I don't know if James Bradbury. I don't know if Vic likes James Bradbury. I mean, this whole time maybe they love James Bradbury and we don't even know it. At least with the Josh Sweat news, at least say, hey, what did some of these NFL reporters call the Eagles, say, hey, what is there any news that we can report on, Hassan Reddick since Josh Sweat is restructured and staying in Philadelphia? It's almost like you get rid of Reddick, you sign Bryce Huff to all this money, and it just like it doesn't. I feel like you're. Not like you don't replace Reddick because I think anybody that you replace him with is not going to be an upgrade. But, if they get one of the best pass rushers, in this draft, then fine, fine. Sorry, I'm trying to get through this chat, guys. I'm sorry. Big Sarge says draft. Safety, Newman, Kitchens, or Bullard. Yeah, I mean, those are the top. I mean, in my opinion, those are the top 3 guys. We'll see come draft. I mean, I don't think they're gonna draft safety high, at all. But that's just me, because I feel like they have an easy sign that they can make happen already. So, unless they feel Reed could be a number 3 to one of these guys in the draft, we'll find out. So what are you surprised about? You just want something to happen. You gotta have patience. Let's just say it, Joey. Let's just wait. We have been wrong all offseason so far. Reddick will be here. What have we been wrong about? I mean, I talked about DeAndre Swift or Saquon Barkley coming to the Eagles. The Saquon Barkley, me and Philly talked about it. Saquon Barkley as an outside move, and it happened. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson coming back, when people were telling me, stop with this love affair with Chauncey. He can't do this, he can't do that. And, he came back. So, yeah, I know we have to be patient, man, but I'm excited because there's so much more to do. So it's just the excitement, dude. I get it. We got to have patience. I get it. But this is how I am, dude. This is who I am. I mean, let's see if the price went down, man. I mean, days have gone by, so that price could have went down. I mean, if you only paid Bryce Huff $17 million, then I don't know, maybe you hit like a cool 20. There was rumors that the Eagles were willing to pay 20 to 22, but that was before Bryce Huff was even signed and free agency even started. Free agency didn't even start by that time. So things could have changed pretty good. Anthony says, Anthony, what's going on, man? Says trade Reddick in a second for a first. Look, if the Eagles end up getting a first round pick offered for Reddick, I feel like you got to take it, because I feel like you got to take it. It's not going to happen. It will never happen. I promise you 1,000,000% the Eagles will never get a first round pick for Reddick. I'm telling you, I'm not just saying it for it to happen. I'm saying it because it will 100% not happen. Okay. A second round pick is just not enough for me. But if they grab the second round pick, man, there's no way you're picking 3 guys in the second round. So you'd have 2 firsts, 3 thirds, a 4th, and 3 5ths. I mean, it's crazy. That's a crazy amount of draft capital. We still have a crazy amount of draft capital, even without the extra second, a 3rd second. Shelly Williams says, if anyone has to pull the trigger, it's Howie. Extend Haas and sign Simmons, and then the draft Howie could really work his magic and then let the rookies take it all in. That's all. Well, here's the thing. Like, I feel like at this point, just draft your defense. get younger, draft your defense, see what goes on with Reddick, see what goes on with Justin Simmons, and just draft your young guys on defense. Your offense is going to put 30 plus, 40 plus points on people. Okay? Like, seriously, like, you know, let these guys produce, and you know, these guys will be fine, you know, but your offense got to put points up, you know, points on the board at the end of the day. I understand our defense was really bad last year. Both sides of the football was really bad last year. But the offense is only going to get better. You know, we'll see how everything goes, but we got a super chat from Rawson Found. Thank you so much for sending the super chat, my friend. Says, why would the Eagles get rid of Reddick? We have money. Oh, it could be more of a futuristic type thing. It could be more of a down the road type thing where, should we keep Reddick? Is Reddick worth keeping for another few years? You know, what compensation they could get in return for him. It really just depends on where they think they're at right now. I know they don't want to get rid of Reddick. He's got one more year on his contract, but the Eagles are not holding on to him, playing out through his last year if they don't extend him, you know, $20 million against the cap. So I don't think that's happening at all. You know, so I would just give it more time, to be honest with you. I just give it a lot more time. But if he's not signed by April, bro, there's issues. Then I feel like a trade has been in the works. They haven't found the right compensation from the right team yet. That's the direction I'm going in. Like, it's March 17th. If this guy isn't available, if there's no news by the 1st of April, he's being dealt either before the draft or he is a draft day trade chip. That's where I'm at. You know, so we'll see. Appreciate the super, by the way. The first super of the day. Thank you so much, man. We got Richie MC. What's going on, man? Thank you for the super chat, man. He says, it found me. I was not looking. So, Joey, I saw your YouTube short reaction on the drafting of Jalen Hurts. That's how I felt trading for Kenny Pickett. Yeah. Dude, I haven't looked at that video in so long. I think that was a video where I just stared to the camera for like 10 minutes. And I just said, why? And then that was it. So that's how that happened. But the Kenny Pickett thing, the only reason why the Kenny Pickett trade went down the way it did with the pick swap is because teams weren't going to get high draft compensation for Justin Fields. The Eagles tried to trade for Justin Fields. Multiple teams, the reports came out today, multiple teams tried to trade for Justin Fields as a backup, not to start for their rosters. 4 or 5 teams, I think, tried to trade for him as for a backup role. But the Bears were charging way too much. But once the Eagles actually trade for Kenny Pickett, we just brought the value down on a potential trade for Justin Fields. That's the only reason why that happened. What was it? A 6th-round pick that could turn to a 4th or whatever, a conditional, whatever it was. So that's the only reason why that happened, because of Kenny Pickett being dealt for cheaper is the only reason why Justin Fields afterwards was traded for cheaper. So I know people don't like the Kenny Pickett trade. I don't think it's a big deal because they only switched, they went down 22 spots from the 3rd to the 4th. So it's not a big deal. Howie Roseman is not going to draft 2 guys in the 2nd round, number one, because I think he'll trade back into the 3rd round and get more picks. So I'm not really worried about it, even if they don't draft back into the 3rd round. I mean, if they, maybe they use all 3 picks. I don't know. So I'm not going to make a huge deal and say like how he just dropped the ball on this. I think the Eagles had a lot of interest through the combine with Kenny Pickett. They took him out to dinner 2 times. They had a lot of interest in him. That was the year where we were wondering if the Eagles were going to give Jalen Hurts, another year to develop. And that's when they traded for AJ, so there was a lot of moves being made. A lot of things were in motion at that time. So I mean, look, you gave up a 3rd for a 4th pick swap, and you gave up 2 25 7th-round picks. Who gives a fuck about the 7th rounders in 25 next year? We'll ultimately get those back. I'm not worried about that. But we'll see. You know what I mean? Appreciate the super, my friend. Point five said if Reddick gets you a quality corner, then okay, trade him. If he's too expensive, trade him. That said, if it's neither, keep him. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's, I don't know if he, I mean, I think it's gonna be, yes, I think he's gonna be pricey. Like, I don't think he deserves the money. It's not that Hassan Reddick doesn't deserve it, but at this point, it's hard for me to feel like he's staying here because you already signed another edge rusher to big money. They had to sign another edge rusher anyway. Okay, and then Josh Sweat gets restructured to stay here. So it's hard for me to feel like Hassan Reddick, they're going to keep him because I'm telling you right now, it's not enough because you have a weakness on one side of the line now. Okay. Bryce Huff on one side. Who's it going to be on the other side? Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham. I know Bryce Huff could play both edge spots, so I'm not worried about that. So it's a really tough decision going forward what they're going to do. I'm hoping they don't drop the ball on this. It seems like Reddick does want to stay. I don't think the question is that does he actually want to stay. I think the question is, you know, what are the Eagles trying to? I mean, if they're trying to explore trades, you know, is there a specific team that's giving up a lot more? I mean, if it's taking this long, it could be a trade. If it's taking this long, then the Eagles asking price for Hassan Reddick is huge, and that's a great thing. That's awesome. I don't see Howie Roseman getting fleeced at all, but you know, it's going to be interesting. Khalil said we got to watch the draft boards determine who and what we will get. Some will fall, some will move up. Boom, Howie strikes. Yeah, I mean, 22 is not a bad spot. You know, I'm not really worried about it. Even going into the second round, there's going to be guys dropping. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens by that time. I want to see what happens with Reddick first. I want to see what happens with Justin Simmons. Those are the two moves, and any other trades they might do. I mean, everyone thinks they're going to maybe trade for a cornerback, or I think safety and Reddick are like the two moves I'm really looking out for. If they sign Justin Simmons, they're obviously not going to go after a safety this year early within the first couple of rounds. But when it comes down to like linebacker, cornerback, I mean, you know, you're looking for an offensive lineman somewhere in between there in the first 3 rounds that we could produce for Lane Johnson's replacement or something like that. Everyone else says, I wouldn't mind Dijon from Iowa. He reminds me of Seahorn at corner. We were about to do Jenkins because he's a hybrid. Yeah, that's the number one thing I really do like about him. And he's smooth, and he's his body movement, and he's a ball hawk. He like to get his hands on the football. And, you know, being a hybrid guy is great. I mean, you have a lot of value to a team that you could play multiple positions at a high level. I mean, you got Sidney Brown as a hybrid. You know, when he comes back, I'm excited what they do with him because I think Sidney Brown is going to be a star here. You know, Chauncey can play multiple positions. I mean, you get Justin Simmons, another guy can play multiple positions as well. So not that they'll move him anywhere, but Dallas says keep Reddick at 11 million more in cap plus Reddick is a beast. Yeah, we'll see. They could. I mean, look, if they keep him just on the regular contract this year, then the cap hit's going to be huge. But I don't think they want to. They don't want. They're not going to keep him. They're not going to let him play out his contract. They're gonna try to either extend him or trade him. So. JC So Cool says Simmons either want to win or he don't simple. Well, you know what? It's these guys that are in their 30s. They take their sweet ass time, and unfortunately, like, you know, they don't have a lot of years left, so they want to try to get the most money they can possibly get. You know, later on. So, you know, I wouldn't give up on it. You know, but these guys that get older, they're very picky about how much they do get. You know, before they go out, and you know, they make it their last seasons, I guess. So we'll see. Gator says Eagles don't have the big time pass rusher game record. We don't have that guy. Well, I mean, we'll see what we have in Bryce Huff. I mean, Bryce Huff only played like 43% of the snaps last year. So, you know, his first, you know, undrafted guy, you know, first, you know, double digit sack season on less snaps. And when it comes to pressure, he's a top 3 player on the line in the NFL. That's, you know, top 3 in pressure the last 3 years. Win rate, one-on-one rate, win percentage on one-on-ones. I mean, he almost beats his guy 9 out of 10 times. That's how good he is. So we'll see what happens. You know, I think they need. I think they'll. I mean, if they get rid of Reddick, they're going to have to go edge rusher in the first. I'm sorry, but there's going to be a corner that drops They should get the next, the next best corner that's on the board if they go get an edge rusher early. So we'll see. But you might have to move into the top 17 to get, at least two of the top edge rushers, at least between Latu from UCLA and getting Chop Robinson from Penn. So I think that would, I guess makes some sense. Says we have 39 million. Okay, Roseman got to be pulling money out of his head. Well, no, I mean the contracts. People think about it. Like, there's no big cap hits this year. It's nothing crazy. Like, just think about it, dude. Like, between Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, and Dallas Guy. I mean, it's crazy. It's only like 30 something. It's only like a 30 something $1 million cap hit this year. It's not much. Like, it's really cheap. Like, you see like Dak Prescott at 59 million for the year, Daniel Jones at $47 million, just one person. The Eagles have 4 superstars at 33 million altogether. It's kind of crazy. So it's kind of nuts, dude, the way they're doing things. But that's Howie Roseman for you. Ponce, I think these linebackers are interesting. Looks like they are trying to get that proper mix. Do we still have Nick Morrow? No, Nick Morrow's gone. Thank fucking God. No. There's nobody really I would want from that X core unless it was like if they signed Zach Cunningham, but I kind of want to draft somebody. I don't really want to add any more linebackers. They already added 3, which is great. You know what I mean? Didn't even expect them to do that, and they did it. And guys with some experience too, which is good. What's up, Slick? Billy Groman says we can easily trade back into round 3 with all them 5th. Yeah, I'm not worried about it at all. I'm not like the pick swap thing for Kenny Pickett. I'm not worried about it. Just think of it. You have Kenny Pickett here for 2 years. He's $8.5 million. His base salary is that for the next 2 years. He's $900,000 against the cap this year, over $2 million next year. The trade deadline, there might be quarterbacks that get hurt. Maybe the Eagles, maybe a team trades with the Eagles for Kenny Pickett. You never know what happens. But if Kenny Pickett has a good preseason, then his value will go up, which is a great thing. Tanner McKee, will probably be in competition with him this offseason. We'll see what happens. Ryan said we should extend Reddick, even though he's almost 30. He plays like a 25. Yeah, I haven't seen. Look, if I saw a little bit of a decline from Reddick, I would trade him in a heartbeat, but I haven't seen any decline from him. So I think he could play for another few years. I'm not really worried about it. Frank Lug, what's going on? So if these players' salaries keep going up, Jeffrey's going to need to sell his yacht. Well, the cap went up, which is good. So the Eagles will get some extra cap the next few years, which is great. You know what I mean? So potentially the Eagles can have like $70 million in cap space even next offseason. There's between 55 to 70 million next year, which is great. So players are getting more money. So we can use let's see. Knights Honor says there's no chance we trade for Surtain. They pay him $28 million or whatever he wants. There's so many Eagle fans that want Patrick Surtain at this point and to trade for him. You trade for him, then you got to pay him, then he's going to be against the cap, and they got to rework his contract. Draft one of these corners. Let these young guys just produce and play next year. Let these guys fight for roster spots. Let these guys produce and play. Next year. This year. Sorry. And just just get your offense better. Put points on the board. Do your thing. Suo, what's going on, man? It says chances of drafting wide receiver at 22 if the board doesn't fall our way. I don't know. I mean, that's always another outside the box type move that they could make. It really depends on what they do between now and the draft. Like, I need to see what happens with Reddick. I need to see, like I say, it's very important because I think there's enough receivers out there, and I don't think they go after a small receiver like Xavier Worthy that has all the speed. Ladd McConkey's obviously one of my favorites. I just don't think they'll draft him. If they do, then great. Wide receiver 3 is not a lock right now with Devontae Parker and Austin Watkins. Like, there's really nothing there right now. There's enough for a nice competition, but nothing to where I could say that they have their wide receiver 3 type guy. They brought in Jerry Rice's son on a pre-draft visit from USC, which is great. I don't know if it's already done yet, but I know they brought him in on a pre-draft visit. I think there's like 8 visits, I think 8 or 9 right now so far for the Eagles. You know, I would like to go after Leggett. I'd like to go after Adonai Mitchell. I want that big receiver with speed and separation, contested catching. That's the type of receiver I think the Eagles want. Just by them signing Devontae Parker, I think that's the type of guy that they do want. They want that big receiver on the inside. That could potentially be that number one if they decide to draft one early. That, you know, if A.J. Brown leaves in a couple years, that guy that was a wide receiver 3 could be the future one in the future. You know, we'll see how it goes. Felipe says, what are the actual cap space right now after saying $39 million? So the actual space, I had to sneeze. I guess I don't have to sneeze. Okay. So this came out 3 hours ago. Eagles have the 4th most cap space available, 39,189,325. So it's really good. Really, really good. We got a super chat from Major Facepalm. What's going on, man? Thank you so much, man. So I'm joining the membership. Only content I don't love to see. Draft target highlights video on 6'5", 230 hybrid. The linebacker James Williams, Miami. Yeah, give it time. I'm gonna be uploading stuff today. The only reason why I haven't uploaded in like 6-7 days is because the free agency has been crazy. It's been a lot of content between streams and videos every day, so that's why I haven't uploaded anything on it. But since it's starting to die down a little bit, we'll get into. I'm gonna have a video uploaded by tonight till tomorrow, so everything is gonna be. We're gonna be uploading every day, so. There'll be a lot going on. Glad you're enjoying it, bro. I appreciate it. Glad that you're enjoying. Hold on one second. I got the right screen up because I have the right. Join memberships, only content. I would love to see draft target highlights video on 6'5", 230 pound hybrid safety linebacker James Williams. Yeah, we'll be getting into all that stuff. So don't worry about it. Be a lot coming. Rawson found the super chat. Thank you so much. Said we need to draft a wide receiver like 500 needs a kitten. That's true. I wouldn't mind drafting a receiver. It just depends on where they you know. It depends on where they go with it. To be honest. Because like I said, if Reddick is re-signed, I'd feel more comfortable drafting, you know, a receiver a little earlier if that's where they want to go, at least with one of those 2nd round picks, maybe. I don't know if they go into the 1st round too much. But we'll see. We got Mr. Rupu Super Chat. Thank you so much, man. So that 39 million is not accurate, though. Look at the spot drag page for the Eagles. Scroll to the bottom. We have a handful of contracts not included yet. Well, if that's, I mean, I'm just reading what I'm reading, so I don't know why a million people are posting what it is. I don't think it's under $30 million anyway. I mean, I doubt it. So, I don't think it's even under that whatsoever. You know, so we'll see. So we got some news from the Cleveland Browns as of right now. It says the Browns are signing former Ravens Pro Bowl quarterback Tyler Snoop Huntley. Snoop, why the hell Tyler Snoop Huntley? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why people post it. I mean, that was the news from 3 hours ago, so I was just reading that and what was happening. But I don't think I don't think they're under $30 million. They're probably not even under $34 million in cap space. I'm not. That's what I read. Let's say what's going on, man. He says y'all looking pretty good. Joey can't lie, but Dallas is sneaky. Watch out. I don't know, man. Eric Kendricks a long snapper and Jordan Lewis and Curse got a big deal on an extension. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's already the 7th day, so I mean it's slim pickings now unless Dallas is going to make trades. I don't know, But the Eagles have made some good moves so far. I mean, they've been busy. I mean, there's probably the only day. There's probably just been one day they haven't. I think there was only one day they haven't been busy within the first week. It might be 2 days counting today. We'll see what happens the rest of the day, but see what happens. But I'm gonna just see what Dallas does, especially with the contracts and stuff like that. Who says, yeah, the cap rolls over. Listen, I think so, and that's how the Commanders had so much. They never sign anyone, get rid of everyone. Actually, I don't think Reddick is going anywhere. You know how Uncle Howie works behind the scenes. Plus, he's not going to get rid of a guy that's going to make the team better. I hope not. Unless they're getting some first-round pick that blows us out of the water. Or like something like that. Or they get a second-round pick with multiple mid-rounders or something. I could see him making a move like that. Not that I would want that. But, if they had a first-round pick for him, I feel like you would have to take it at that point. We'll see, though. We'll see. BO said 1990, yeah, it says, take a shot at Michael Thomas. Saints have had QB issues. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan, and I feel like, Rondale Moore was like one guy I really wanted, like badly, and I thought that would have been a perfect trade. I guess they just don't want to give up any draft capital, but we'll see what happens. Drew says, fly. What's going on, man? Say, hey, Joey, I don't mean to sound like a stooge, but how does the signings we make affect our cap? Like with the signing bonus and year of contract, I always wondered. Great stream. I don't know all the details of that shit. I just go by what I read sometimes. I mean, the shit was updated a few hours ago of what the Eagles were fourth in cap space with 39. So I don't know with the guarantees and how everything goes into the cap, like strategically, mathematically. So I'm not really sure, but I mean, I think the Eagles still have over $34 million regardless. I don't think they're way under at all. So, plus the Reddick move is gonna save you 11 plus. So whether you trade him, whether you extend, whatever the case may be, you're getting a lot of cap space back. So the Eagles will be well over 40 million regardless with this move. If they're, I don't know, if they're between 35 to 40 or they have 38 million. I mean, it depends. They have close to 50 or at 50, or they have over 40, maybe 43 to 45 million. And that's great. It's a great number. We've seen Howie Roseman work with a lot less cap and do a lot more with this roster. Trust me. Vaughn says, I think these linebackers are some sleepers. White could be a stud. Huff could be a rushing linebacker in a Fangio 3-4 mix. I like these pickups. Yeah, I do too. Devin White especially, because I think a lot of people are shitting on it. A lot of people are crapping on it. And look, I said, like, maybe he won't work out, but I have a really good feeling that with a new team, and he was wanting out of Tampa Bay. He wanted to trade a couple years ago. They didn't give him the trade, and then he lost his job. And I just felt like, maybe he just wanted out. He wanted a new beginning. He wanted to revive his career somewhere else, and just wanted to change the scenery, I guess, and never got it. But now he's got it, and I think he'll do really well. Clay said Christian McCaffrey, brother of Luke, would be an option at wide receiver 3 out of the draft. Yeah, it would be great. Luke McCaffrey. Here's a Howie Roseman is a fraud. Andy Reid's picks won the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't think Howie's that much of a fraud, but at least he's productive and active. Look at the Brennan Rice. He's a sneaky wide receiver. Could draft and trade back in the 3rd or stay in the 4th round. Duncan Idaho says, with full respect, can your Eagles please leave some free agents available? I mean, like, Lucy, KC has done a great job. I mean, KC's locking up players. But, that's how good Patrick Mahomes is offensively, because, you get guys that fit. Patrick Mahomes is so elite that he can make anybody look really good. Getting Hollywood Brown, I think, was a really good move for them going forward. And, I don't think replacing Snead's going to be a big deal if they do trade him. I don't know. I haven't heard nothing on L'Jarius Sneed either. So it looks like that I don't know. Jalen Johnson got the money he wanted, and it looks like I don't know if Snead's trying to ask for more, or he's maybe teams are giving him less. I'm not really sure. So why haven't you oversigned him yet? No idea. I mean, some of these things just take time. Like it's just some of them take time. I mean, I have no idea. It's taking a while. If the Eagles don't sign Reddick by like the first day of April, at least by the first day of next month, like I feel like he will be traded or he'll be a bargaining chip or something like that. I don't know for the draft at least if that's where you're gonna go. I think Ryan's right. I think negotiations are still ongoing because if it was already a done deal, if it was already going to be reported that he was going to get traded, at least like they were going in that direction. I think it would have been at least reported. Maybe I mean the long waiting time of what's going on with this right now is either good or it's really bad. So it can go either or. But I felt like if it was bad, it would have been reported. So I feel like there's still some type of there's still a shot right now. Professor Phillipsburg says, I think the most underrated signing will be Matt Hennessy from what I'm reading, probably our right guard next year. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, right now, I'm not saying anything bad about Tyler Steen, but he's just way too raw right now. He had a couple starts last year. But Matt Hennessy could play center and right guard. He had 22 starts with the Atlanta Falcons. He's very athletic. I think he's a nice plug-in type guy for this football team, to be honest with you. I think he's actually better than Sua Opeta. Sua Opeta did sign a deal with the Tampa Bay Bucks, so he definitely. I mean, Sua Opeta deserves a roster spot on another team, no doubt. That's what Jeff Stalin does. He produces some good guys here. So we'll see. They're going to draft another offensive lineman. I would say another right tackle at this point for Lane Johnson's replacement in the first few rounds. We'll see what happens. I just give it time, man. Just give it time. We got Johnny Pace. What's going on, man? Appreciate the super chat. Says Ayo, all love, man. Respect your content. Go, bro. I appreciate it so much, John. Appreciate so much, man. Much love. And yeah, we're on the 7th day of Eagles free agency. As of right now, we got 690 in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you are subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you like up this video. I want to see 200-300 likes in this chat. As of right now, appreciate it so much from everybody. Check out the memberships in the pinned comment above for more Eagles content, extra content that I can't put on my regular stuff. It's more of the copyrighted stuff that I really can't put on here. So definitely watch for, just watch out for all that extra content, join and be a member and support as well. So I appreciate it so much. Gators, the Chiefs GM is obviously better. Oh, I mean, it's not better, dude. I mean, look, it's just like, we could say that they put themselves in a better situation. Yeah. They've put themselves in a better situation. And they've hit on the draft. They've hit on free agents. They got a quarterback that could do it all. So we'll see what happens, my friend. What happens? Nate says Reddick might want to sit out training camp or something like that too. Yeah, I don't see that happening. I don't. I don't see him sitting out. I don't see him holding out for the year. I don't see any of that happening whatsoever. I'm not really even worried about a holdout. I was kind of worried about that last year because he was getting good statistics and he was looking really good. But give it time, because things can happen. Things do change, which I think it did change over time. So, we'll see. We'll see. Second. Here. Let's see. Downs Snead is still on the Chiefs. He was tagged. Yeah, but it was a different tag. It was a non-exclusive tag. So a non-exclusive tag means that he was up for trade. It was I guess a tag and trade. I guess I don't know. I mean, unless he's staying, then I mean, they haven't given him a long-term extension yet, so that's what I'm saying. Like, are they trying to trade him? I mean, that's what it looks like as of right now. So I guess we'll see. YouTube kind of says if Reddick goes to the Ravens, I might just shed a tear. This ain't happening. I mean, if he goes to the Ravens, they got to get draft capital, man. I don't know. For me, like a second round pick is just not enough. But if I feel like Howie would take a second round pick for him, I feel like they would in a heartbeat. Listen, none of these teams have money that are good. Why Reddick ain't moved? Why he is staying? Conversation is probably shitty. That's what I'm thinking. If a trade, I mean, look, the Eagles are gonna go through their options. Say, hey, we want to keep Reddick, but let's just see what we would get for him in a trade. They call some other teams. They see what they, maybe the teams that have interest, see what they want. Let's see what happens. He said, hey, Joey, nobody's banging the door down for Reddick, and I think Howie's allowing Reddick to see this, that nobody's kicking their door down for him. I'm not saying other teams don't want him. Other teams. No, I mean, I feel like, there's no point. There's no point right now to trade him if you're not getting the compensation that you're going to get. Your Super Bowl window is open right now, and to lose a player like that for less compensation just because you want him out is not the best thing possible. The Eagles want to keep Hassan Reddick. There's no doubt about it. So Tommy Gunn says, hey Joey, question. What's the holdup with the Devontae Smith extension? I don't think there's a holdup. I think they're just waiting to do it at the right time. They have plenty of time to do it. I mean, they could do it during the season. They could do it at the end of the season. They could do it by training camp. I mean, there's plenty of times that they could do it. Just give it time. Like, they're probably still working on it. Maybe. I mean, it wouldn't shock me that they're still negotiating at this point. But I don't think they're in any rush to get it done right now. I think it could happen during training camp and down the road. He could be signed before the season starts. Don't be surprised. So, wouldn't make a big deal out of it too much. Drew says 505. Joey, have a good day. You too, man. YouTube Jay Cabalot says Cowboys never lost 7 stars in free agency. They still think they have a championship team. I don't know how. If they don't draft well, they are done. Yeah, they need a monster draft this year because they didn't draft well. They didn't draft anybody good last year. Nobody came out of that draft good last year. Not Deuce Vaughn, not Shoemaker, not Smith. Obviously, they need a big draft. Because if they draft another bad class, like they're I don't know. It's gonna be hard to get out of that. It's gonna be really hard to get out of that. And then they got to spend more money next year. Then they have to by next offseason. Then they have to pay. They got to pay Micah Parsons, and we don't know if Dak Prescott's getting an extension yet. So we'll see. They need what? They're missing a center. What are they missing? Are they missing a center this year and a left tackle as well? And what's his face has to get paid too. His contract's up after this year too. Their right guard, their Pro Bowl right guard. Granted, the Eagles have given us every reason to believe they want to win the bowl. Oh no, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. I've been thinking the Eagles gave Reddick agent permission to look to her deal, and no team is giving him the deal. That's what it looks like right now. Mayor Facepalm says Lane Johnson, future replacement. Marius Mims, Georgia right tackle at 6'8". He and Malata would be the tallest set of bookends in the NFL. Damn, that's 6'8", dude. Another 6'8" tackle would be fantastic. I cannot win a Super Bowl with Pat Mahomes or Brady coaching is all luck. Closest Dallas signed Eric Kendricks after his prime. Sound like the old Eagles team. Super chat. Did I miss one? Ooh. No, I got it. I already went over this. I read this. If that's the one you're talking about, because I'm going back even more. I don't think. But yeah, it says, "Hey, oh man, love and respect." Yeah, I already read this, dude. I appreciate it so much, man. I didn't miss it. Suo says, appreciate super chats. Julian Blackmon on a 3-year deal with Simmons on a 1-year. I take Simmons on a 1-year because Blackmon is obviously coming off an injury and is a low risk, high reward move. Julian Blackmon will be cheaper and it'll be, it'll be a gamble. Not really a gamble, but it'll be a gamble to see if, he could, do anything for us. So, it really depends on what you want. I want Justin Simmons. Imagine having Justin Simmons and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson as in your back end. I think this would be I think they'd end up being the best safety tandem in the league. Kind of like how we always thought like McLeod and Jenkins would be the best, be the best safety tandem that we've had in the building. So I wouldn't give up on Justin Simmons. I will not give up on him for anybody else just yet. We'll see what happens. Steve Stefanowski says how he doesn't want to give him up, but Brian Burns messed up everybody as far as linemen and trades. Giants have 2 and a 5th for Brian Burns. You're not getting a 1 for Reddick. No, I mean, that trade kind of justified everything. A 2nd and some mid-round picks is all you're going to get. And he's younger, so what do you get for Reddick? But Reddick's statistics are a lot better, and he's ready right now for a team that, maybe a team that wants to get to a Super Bowl, that needs an edge rusher right now. It's going to produce day one and get pressure like crazy. Reddick will jump on to another team and produce immediately. So, that's the difference that you're getting between, Brian Burns. You're getting better statistics. Khalil said, every person you draft is not going to become a star. Some of y'all do understand that. Well, no. I mean, there's guys that are stars. There's guys that are role players. You know what I mean? So you're obviously your 1st and 2nd round pick should start on the field. Your 3rd, 4th, your 3rd, 4th rounders should be more role players. Your 5th to 7th rounders should be their gambles. Their need gambles. So that's what it comes down to. Like, a superstar is one thing, but a star for a team, yeah. I mean, I'm hoping we get one of those this year in the draft that will be, play really well. So Drew said, I think Howie goes into the year with Slade, Baldberry, Ricks, Ringo. I'll be surprised if he drafts a corner, although I would love if they did. If they go into the season with James Bradberry, I'll be a little shocked. Maybe they like James Brad. Maybe Vic Fangio likes James Bradberry and thinks he plays well. I mean, he played well in 22, but I feel like there's a mental thing going on with him, especially after that Super Bowl in 22. So I don't know. We should never forget when Panthers declined 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns when the Rams won. Yeah, that's true. They said Zimmer is the Niners stopper. We're not worried about Philly girls. We got bigger. Well, dude, it's like you're worried about the Niners so much, where you probably should, but at the end of the day, Zimmer hasn't played. Zimmer's last couple of years as defensive coordinator didn't really work out either. I mean, look, I think it was a good signing for them, but dude, you have an issue with your fucking front office, man. You get into a playoff game and you change everything that you do. You fucking have a good regular season and you guys change everything that you do. You don't use what you did in the regular season to the playoff games. The team totally changes by that point. As long as the Jones family is running the Cowboys, they're not going anywhere. I mean, it's simple as that. I mean, this free agency was lackluster. It was actually really embarrassing, to be honest. And I don't think the Cowboys are hitting on every player in this draft. So really, it's like, what is there left? You know what I mean? It's bad. They have bad money management. They don't know how to move cap space. They don't have a competent GM that they could just hire, man. Once they actually hire a GM that, the GM could have some control over more than what that family does, I think that's what's holding the Cowboys back. It's the Jones family. It's 100% that, unfortunately. So all the talk is like, I mean, you got to see guys get humble. I mean, it's just like the Commanders are looking better than the Cowboys right now. I mean, just by signing guys, I understand they have more cap space, but fucking God, like at this point, I don't know why the Cowboys are even holding on to the roster they have. Like they might as well, I'm not even just saying this to be an asshole, but they might as well just like gut the whole fucking roster and restart again at this point, because whatever they have right now, they can't do nothing with. Quarterback is a big problem. He is. I mean, after watching that playoff game against a 6-7 seed, whatever it was, couldn't even beat a 6-7 seed at home, where the Cowboys are the best at home last year. I mean, what it is, man. What it is. It says Khalil Wilson says Nakobe Dean doesn't even get a grade. He was hurt so much. He was a third. No, I mean, there's no grade. No grade for him. He's got to be available. The availability is where, is a problem right now. Steve says they're going to get a cornerback in the draft. No doubt. If it's not a number one, I'd really be shocked, because they kind of addressed everything else. Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, like, Bradbury's sitting there, but Bradbury could still be on this roster by the draft. Bradbury could be a post-June cut. Okay, extend Bradbury's contract, cut him after June. That $10 million will split into a couple years and just eat it up. It's very easy to eat that contract up. But you're going to be losing Slay after this year, so they have to get their corner of the future. I think the depth-wise for the Eagles right now, I think is perfect. Depth at cornerback, I think, is perfect. Isaiah Rodgers is coming to the fold. Keely Ringo, Eli Ricks, Zach McPherson. I like a lot of these guys. I want to see another offseason from a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys did show some flash. Am I ready right now for Keely Ringo to step into the role? No. Am I ready right now for Eli Ricks to step into a role? No. I mean, I think these guys need more time. I don't think we've seen enough. That's really just me at the end of the day. So, we'll see, what happens in the time being, but, we'll see. I heard the Jets are trying to get T. Higgins. I want to see Ricks and Ringo play. Honestly, we need some youth and athleticism. Ricks is a dog. Just don't play him in the slot. Yeah, but I don't think they're ready, though, dude. Like, I don't think they've had one season. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think the Eagles have that much faith in them going in there as a number two. And no, you can't play either one of them on the inside. That's definitely not happening. Chip Dove Eagles is good against the run, though. He's got great instincts against the run. Suez' Cowboys only had $2.2 million to spend. There was nothing they could do. Well, yeah, there was plenty they could do. Like, they could sacrifice some players and let go of some guys early, like, or just gut certain positions on the roster, and get rid of the big cap casualties on the roster. But they didn't do that. You know what I mean? I mean, they're still holding on like they still could do something, and it. Your head coach, the front office is the main problem. The Jones family will always hold that team back. But the head coaches they hire are shit. They're all puppets as well, dude. They're all puppets as well. The coaches they hire and these contracts that they need to sign soon, like they've telling you, it's gonna be a mess. Wilson, I wasn't trying talking to you about Davis. Read the comments. I'm answering. No. I'm just reading the comments. That's all. I'm just reading the comments. Whether it's against me or anybody else. Close to the whole defense, including coordinators, were a problem. Tommy says, I want Bradbury gone as well. I looked at the statistics and they show he plays good and bad, then good. Does good on even number years, but check the stat. Yeah, even number on the even number years he plays well, and on the odd numbers So obviously it would be it is what it is. Let's say says Joey, y'all choked against Tampa Bay. We choked the last seven fucking games, dude. Choked the playoff game. Who cares about the playoff game? I had them losing the playoff game. We played bad the last 7 weeks. The last 7 weeks we played horrible. I was shitting on this team for the last 7 weeks. I'm not that fucking Eagle fan that's gonna just go in a direction of like faking all the bullshit that happens. I don't do that, you know? After they lost to San Francisco, I was like, if they lose to Dallas, they're finished. Like, it's done. Like they have nothing left in the tank. They're not coming back. No adjustments. They lost to Dallas, and that was it. I told everybody that the next time you see me, I'm not going to be an Eagles fan that everybody's going to like, because all the truth is going to come out. And, you know, I held on hope as much as I could that things would change. They never changed. And that was it. So I honestly didn't freak out about a playoff loss because they were already playing like shit the last 7 weeks. Like, what did I expect going to that playoff game? What did I expect? It doesn't make me feel bad because I already had them losing that game. Go back and look, go back and listen, because I was fighting everybody left and right that things were not going to change. Because if adjustments were made, it is what it is. So it is what it is. Chip 2 goes, Howie has done better. I'm not saying he's terrible, but not among the top GMs when it comes to drafting. So overall, I could say he's good necessarily, you know. Well, I mean, I think the last 3 years he's been all right. Other than like 2018. 2018 draft wasn't bad, obviously, but you know, because really after the Super Bowl they weren't drafting well at all. Like, it was bad. Like, it was like they kept restructuring contracts, and you keep drafting bad draft after bad draft, then you know it's going to catch up to you. And in 2020 it caught up to us. So that's what happened. Cowboys are going to move money around. Dude, it's fucking 7 days in the free agency. Like, you missed. It's like there's slim pickings now. Like, it's done. Like, there's unless the Cowboys are going to trade for a guy for a lot of money, which I hardly doubt that with Dak getting an extension and Micah Parsons' extension. Your right guard needs an extension. Dude, I know. You have $13 million on the 7th day of free agency. Congratulations. Like, you're 7 days too fucking late. Like, if you freed up this money on the first, second day, sure, great, but it's 7 days. Like, it's slim pickings now. Like, it's already done. Like, the kid Newton from Illinois is a problem, no joke. One says, what do you think about Jadeveon Clowney? He's trying to get a lot of money for a 1-year deal. He's trying to go to the Panthers. The Panthers have cap. I don't think. I mean, I would love a rotational guy. I know Jadeveon Clowney is visiting teams. Chase Young is visiting teams right now. There. The Cowboys can come in here and act like they're good at free agency, losing more players to get top delusional. It's just at a point where, dude, it's like your cat. I mean, you have, even if you've just freed up 13 million, you need 10 million for the draft. So, I mean, you need money for the draft. You need like 10 million for the draft. So 13 million means nothing. I don't think anybody understands, to be honest. But I don't know. See what happens. Because I feel like Simmons' talk is turning into Sertan over us Eagles fans praying Hail Mary that won't happen. Right, as you imagine Simmons and Jones, I think probably put Gardner at cornerback. Chip to the Cowboy chats will block you, not cooking them. JS, Mark Holmes, Ball Nation, Watch Lombardi. He was laughing at the end of the season. It is what it is, dude. Even if the Eagles make it further than the Cowboys, I mean, even if the Eagles lose in the playoffs, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. It's whatever it is at the end of the day. But I'm just speaking the fucking truth. Like, you have no answer for it, so just speaking the truth. Like, for someone that says we have $13 million in cap space but doesn't realize that they need fucking money for the draft, is saying that they're going to make big moves. Sure, buddy. Surely. Does anyone in the chat believe in Reed Blankenship? I think he's a stud. I think he's good, but I think they need to put more. They need to put more in front of him. I think people think he's the best safety that we've ever had on the Eagles for some weird reason. I think he's good. I don't think he's that great. I don't think his coverage is good. He's more of an in the box type safety. You know, I think his tackling is great. I think he's physical. But I feel like they need to add more. You know, so we'll see. I mean, he's going to make the team anyway. It doesn't matter. But I feel like they have to add Justin Simmons. I feel like they're going to make another signing. Yeah, you still have contracts with CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, Micah Parsons. I know their right guard needs an extension. There's so much shit going on. So much going on. Parsons might not even be any. He might not even be a Cowboy at that point. They might not even have enough money to fucking pay his ass. So they pay as a Chase Young may have his injuries behind him. He just big risk and D White. Go for it. Yeah, Reed can't cover. That's his big issue with me. Like, it's just that's where he like I don't think is gonna fit too much here. As a run support, sure, but that might be all they really need from him, to be honest. But because he's played, I'm so unfortunately before Chauncey left or when Chauncey left, whatever the case may be, you know, Reed has been the best of the bad group. Zach Cunningham was the best linebacker of the bad group of linebackers. You know what I mean? I feel like there is an upgrade quality. I mean, trust me, there's a lot better safeties in the NFL than Reed Blankenship. Okay. Reed is a good player. I think he's solid, but I wouldn't just give him the job just because. Okay. Make these guys work for it. Make these, put competition. Nakobe Dean's got a lot of competition in front of him. He got veterans, he got guys going to their prime in front of him. You know what I mean? So I don't see people bitching about Nakobe Dean with all these linebackers in front. Nakobe Dean should start obviously this year, no doubt, but hopefully he plays well. Yeah, it says $50 million cap hit on the Kirk Cousins contract plan. What is that? That's another guy that's getting so much money and not even making it. Not even can't even make the fucking playoffs. Or not even necessarily make the playoffs, but damn, like another big choker. This is another big choker. Fred says, we playing for Super Bowl. Cowboys playing to keep their name in the news. We can't win playoffs and pressure keeps. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know. It already shows me, like, if I say something about the cap or say something about, and then I get an answer saying, you guys are going to choke at the end of the season. Dude, you're already kind of lost at this point. That's the excuse now. It's, oh, you guys are going to choke at the end of the year. It's like, oh, okay. Nothing to say now after, thinking, oh, we just freed up $13 million in cap space. I don't fucking get it. Yeah, Zach Martin should be a free agent. He's a free agent after this year. Zach Martin's a free agent. They have no center. They have no left tackle this year. Zach Martin's a free agent after this year. Micah Parsons needs a contract. Dak Prescott needs a contract. CeeDee Lamb needs a contract. It's just bad. It's bad drafting and just really bad control over these contracts. It's bad because everything is expiring at the same fucking time. You can't have shit expiring at the same time. But when you feel like you have to let go of a player or trade him, you do it because you know you're not going to pay him. You get as much as you want for that player. It's just common sense. But because they're just holding on that they could get something done in these playoffs, it's just crazy. Oh, I seen this shit too. Huncho says, I think the Cowboy fan believes it's getting Stephon Diggs still. They've been saying they're getting him for 3 to 4 years. Stupid. I haven't talked about the Cowboys at all. Like, I haven't talked about the Cowboys at all off season. I've been really focused on us. I don't necessarily talk about them during the season unless some stupid crap happens. But I don't get it, man. I don't get it, dude. Maybe then Zach Martin hold out last year. They'll give till they give him. Yeah, they lost 2, dude. I'm not saying like that's what happens, dude. What happens? Fred says planning for the future is the biggest trait for a GM. Howie is one of the best at it. Yeah. At least we were never, I mean, look, at least like we haven't been we're never over the cap anymore like we used to be. Before like 3-ish years ago, like we used to be under the cap like $70 million because Howie was drafting bad. When you start drafting well, then you're expiring contracts, and you draft well, your contracts are going to be at different points. Like you can't have like 3 of your best players are going to be fucking free agents the same year. You can, but depending on the money situation where you're at, but if you don't draft well, you're not going to have that much money. I mean, you're going to be spending every single, you're going to be freeing up cap space. And restructures are good and bad. They're good because they're good for the player because it gives them more guaranteed money up front, but it's good for the Eagles because if they restructure a player, you get cap space back. But then those bigger cap hits are going to come down the line. So if you restructure too many players, you're going to have big cap hits down the road. So you free up some money, for you free up some funds for to use, but those cap are going to fucking hit. So it's not as like, I don't mind restructures, but when you do it all the time, and the Eagles used to do that shit all the time, especially after the 17 Super Bowl, Eagles did that all the time. And when you bad draft after bad draft, and then you just keep restructuring, it ain't good. It is not good. So that's why Howie Roseman, at least like, even if the Eagles didn't win anything last year, at least Howie Roseman's making moves. At least we have a GM that's fucking active. I mean, compared to some of these other teams that don't do shit all year, like that's the shit that happens, dude. That's, at least we get. I know I have personal friends. Okay, I have friends I know personally. Okay, that are fans of teams. Okay, that literally have they don't do shit. They do nothing. Like they barely move around, they barely do anything. Like I'm telling you, it's no joke. Like we're lucky to have Howie. Like, no joke. If it was a few years ago, I wanted him out the door, but a lot of things have changed since then. The philosophy has started to change now just a little bit more. So you're drafting wide receivers, you're taking risks, you're trading for wide receivers like AJ Brown that they didn't have to do, but they Jalen Hurts, they listen to their quarterback at times. That's the main thing that's going on right now. So. We got 631 in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button. Let's get as many likes on this as possible. Over 200 likes. I don't even know where we're at with likes, but hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And definitely check out the pinned comment for extra content. Become a member and support the channel today. It's in the chat as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining today. Still on the 7th day of free agency. 7th day. Joey says Dallas can't afford their own players, yet alone free agents. True. And they could have had Derrick Henry in their fucking pocket. Did you hear Derrick Henry on the radio a couple days ago? Like he said, like I had a lot of interest going to Dallas, and I had no phone call from them, no interest, no phone call, no nothing. I didn't get a phone call from the Cowboys at all regarding interest. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, that would have been a big move for them. They need to get some offensive linemen back in check, but that would have been a big move for them. Because the Commanders have taken the couch boys play in the division. All they players are there now. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, between some of the coaching, some of the assistant coaching staff, to some of the players now are over there with Dan Quinn for that defense. So Washington's going to look totally different. I mean, they don't really have a quarterback right now, which they're probably going to be. They totally just took free agency. They took all their money and just spent it on their whole entire roster. So, getting rid of a whole entire getting rid of a whole entire roster like that is not fantastic. It's not how you build a football team. But because Washington has not done shit, because they have been lackluster at QB for years, and they've had the roster to get things done. They've had bad coaching, and they've unfortunately haven't had the right QB. I felt like if they had the right QB the last 5 years, 6 years, they probably would have at least made some noise in the playoffs, or at least got to the playoffs in general. So I think the Commanders are just, when you have like $70-80 million in cap space and you're just fucking spending it, it's not how you build a team. But you got to that point of all that cap space, having all that cap space now is because you had a roster that just wasn't working out. This is why the Patriots have won so many Super Bowls, have been consistent every year. And why the Eagles are always in the playoffs every year is because they do stay consistent with their drafting. They have been, and their signings have been pretty good. And Howie Roseman's money, cap space moving around, and that's why the Eagles stay consistent with that. Just got to put more championships under the belt. That's all it is, That's all it is. Hey Joey Shake, what's going on, Princess? What do you think of your off season so far? I think it's been good. I think it's fine. I mean, other than a Reddick, the Reddick situation, maybe Justin Simmons. I think regarding the coaching staff, I think they've done a fantastic job. They've changed all the assistant coaches, the 2 coordinators. I like Kellen Moore, Vic Fangio. I like him, but I just don't like the scheme too much. But get the best man for the job. You have it right there. So. I think it's been good. I haven't really complained about much of anything. Free agency was obviously the big point of what we were going to do, and you still got a whole entire draft. I think the Eagles have covered a lot as of right now. They brought a lot of competition to a lot of positions, and we're looking at corner. We're looking at maybe a linebacker in this draft. We're looking at you got Saquon Barkley. You went all out. I mean, you went all out. You spent some money. I think the Eagles are ready for another run. You know what I mean? The window is wide open. Kill in this draft, and you'll do even better. The more you draft well, the more you're gonna stay relevant. In the league. That's how I think of it. So, YouTube's Gay Cap says exactly. He bought a whole house in Dallas. They didn't even call it. God damn. Gareth, the star players won in Dallas unless they squeeze every dollar out of JJ. That's how they like it there. Sean Good said, I like our new linebackers, but go get Cooper and another solid linebacker, be solid depth. Sean, I think they only have to. I think they just have to draft one guy. I actually like what they have. They could get another guy, sure. I mean, I think maybe not go crazy. Maybe if they don't go the first round, go the second round, get your main guy. Somebody will fall. I mean, E. Cooper is probably my favorite linebacker in this draft. I'm sorry, but I think he would work out so well here because I think he fits the scheme here. But get a guy in the mid rounds or something like that. That'd be more of a role player that fits well in Vic Fangio's scheme. So I think I liked how they added 3 linebackers so far. Yeah, they didn't add an all pro. Okay. But you're adding more bodies. You're adding more competition. I think Devin White is going to have a big year. I do. And if he doesn't, he doesn't. But I feel Devin White is going to really get a big turnaround. So, we'll see. Chris Dog with Super Chat. Chris Dog says, and yes, Chris Dog is a Cowboys fan. Okay. And a good person in the chat. So I appreciate it so much. A big supporter as well. I said, yo, Joey, Cowboys fan here. I get it. Jerry is the shit next owner. Same with his son, Steven Jones. Did you hear Dak say fuck Dallas and his older brother, Tad, say Eagles are better front office? Yeah, I saw all that news. But, it's just, and trust me, I get it, dude. And I'm not even, shitting on the Cowboys, but I get it, okay? It's just one of those things to where, I feel there's just, it's like, I don't know why, like, people are either gonna troll. Like, we already had a Cowboy fan here earlier that like didn't even know like how the cap works. I mean, I feel like nobody knows how anything works. Okay, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but at least like if you're going into a fucking draft and you only have $13 million in cap space, how much of that money do you think is going towards cap? You freed up $13 million on the 7th day of free agency. Like, what do you think? What big move do you think you're going to make with $13 million? Technically, they only have like $3 million. I mean, you need like what, $10 million for the draft, 9 to 10 million, something like that. So I get it, but it's just to a point now where it's like, dude, like, enough with like every fucking coach has been a scapegoat. Even Kellen Moore's been a scapegoat for the Dallas Cowboys. And the same problem that they've had with Kellen Moore is still going on now. After Kellen Moore, after Scott Linehan, now they're dealing with Mike McCarthy. Okay, so it's just like, I get it, dude. I get it 100%. It's like, I just can't find one Cowboys fan that's just realistic about the situation. I'm not trying to like have them talk shit about their team that much, but just like, dude, like, how do you get the regular season was great for the Cowboys, but unfortunately, like, they get to a playoff game and the entire offense just changes. The front office gets involved in these playoffs. How does Dak and CD not have any connection during a playoff game? Why don't teams ever use that got them to the playoffs? In the playoffs, like, why do teams change so much during these playoffs? Why don't they? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you got to be aggressive, and if you're not, you're not going to win shit. Your confidence in players is going to go down. I think the Jones family is just they don't know how to deal with contracts. They don't know how to sign players. I mean, really, it was a horrible draft last year. I mean, nobody last year. Nobody is really producing from that draft. Not one guy. Shoemaker was really the replacement. Well, Shoemaker was, they were supposed to draft Kincaid. And unfortunately, the Bills jumped in front of them to get Kincaid. So they draft Shoemaker. Nami Smith, I mean, he hasn't done much of anything. I mean, a first round pick, and I mean, he didn't show much of anything. And Deuce Vaughn gets drafted because the fucking father I thought that was the most lame shit I've ever seen. I mean, seriously. Like, the father is like one of the scouts and like it drafted his son. Like, it was just so fucking corny. Like, it was just like, well, I hope this guy's good because like you just did his father a fucking favor, like. I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. I don't, dude. Like, I see other Cowboy fans like make content, and it's just like, I feel like it's just like, I haven't seen one that's just, I mean, it's excuses up the ass, but it's just ridiculous. Sorry, I'm ranting, but I appreciate the super chat so much, Chris. I really do. And I feel your pain, dude. I feel it. I get it. You know what I mean? Year after year of the same old bullshit. I completely get it. One says Browns QB deep room deep. Andy said if we don't do anything with Reddick, he's still under a QB contract. Yeah, but they're not going to play him on his contract this year. They won't let him play on his contract. He's a $20 million cap hit this year. The Eagles are not playing him on that. I think they're going to extend him, but I think an extension is in the process. I think that's what they have to do. So, Nate said this is their year. Warren Burke's a Sean Bradley replacement. Yeah, it looks like Sean Bradley's not coming back. You picked up two really good special teamers. You lost that other linebacker. We had a good special teamer, and you just released him, and he just signed immediately to the Patriots on the waiver wire. I forgot what his name was. I keep forgetting. Christian Ellis. Christian Ellis was a fantastic special teamer. You just put him on waivers. Why, I don't know. And within the first 2 spots at the waiver wire, the Patriots pick him up. Like, they're just like they had no idea how to use linebackers. Like, I'm hoping now, like, Bobby King is in the building now, so Bobby King, I think, is a really good linebacker coach. But Jesus Christ, dude, it's bad. Go on, NFL Reality Check. Hope you're having a good day, man. I hope you're having a good day. Chris Allison says, is why Jerry stopped winning with the salary cap era. Yeah, it's true. No, you got to be realistic with it, dude. If Mark Holmes says that, then I mean, you got to be realistic with it. They're not good. They're not good on handling money. I saw the video when he was sitting by the fireplace. He was talking about, oh, how the Eagles affording this one and that one. And, you know, and the respect has got to go to Howie Roseman. We might bitch about Howie Roseman. We might be ungrateful for certain things that he does do, like the Kenny Pickett trade. But, guys, like, he maneuvers so much, okay? He tries to get value. He doesn't overpay players. He tries to get value for everything. At least he plays safe sometimes. And when he wants to take a shot, he takes the shot. Okay, he takes the shot. That's fine. But, like, we lose a 3rd rounder. We get a 4th rounder for Kenny Pickett, and we're down 22 spots from the 3rd to the 4th. Who gives a crap? Howie Roseman maneuvers so much. The Eagles aren't picking 2 guys in the 2nd round. The Eagles aren't spending. The Eagles aren't. You know, draft. They're gonna look what they did last year. They traded that pick for this pick. They traded a pick for next year's draft for this year's draft. Like, it was. They got I know they traded with Tampa Bay last year. Got like a 5th rounder. They gave away one of their 6th rounders for a 5th rounder. Like, Howie always tries to work on like during the draft. Howie always tries to get more picks for this draft and tries to get in a better position for this draft during the draft. And he works the future as well. So he says, hey, I'm going to get a pick for next year. So while he's doing everything for this year, he's trying to get picks for next year. And the compensatory pick game, he's really good at. You got 4 compensatory picks this year. You had, 3. I think you have 4 actually. An extra 6. I think it was like an extra 5th, 2 5th rounders, I think, or something like that, or a 1 5th rounder, a 3rd rounder. So I mean, you know what I mean? This is why you have to draft well, get those compensatory picks for drafting well too, because you get rid of Hargrave, you get Jalen Carter in the 1st round. That's a high compensatory pick that you're awarded. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Corny, but Deuce a dog. Oh, look, dude, like yeah, I mean, maybe he's a dog, maybe he's good, but the Cowboys ain't gonna do nothing with him. I don't know. He's obviously not in the plans. Tony Pollard said he was gonna go back to the Cowboys for cheap. He didn't even go back. You know, there's discussions right now with the Cowboys that they might bring Ezekiel Elliott back because they have no choice. Ezekiel Elliott's still not signed, and he's gonna be dirt cheap. And he's got not much juice. He's got maybe a little tiny bit, but there's not much there with him. If they're going to treat him like the featured back, it's definitely not going to happen. His body ain't going to last. I mean, I don't get how you can get on camera and say the most delusional shit. Like, I mean, look, everyone is entitled to their opinion, but there's some things that are said about your own team, and I think sometimes I'm just like, dude, how can you say that? You know, and everything's got to be compared to the Eagles all the time. Everything's got to be compared to the Eagles. Nothing is just like, hey, like, how can this team just get better? But that's all they care about is beating the Eagles every single year, and us. And even if we make it further, we choke and we're the laughing stock. But that's their participation trophy is all that matters. The same with the Niners. Cap era killed them. They going to the last 2 years seems like they don't care. Well, because they're not paying a quarterback right now. Okay, You know what that Brock Purdy contract is going to look like? Like, that's why they can sign a shit ton of defensive ends and add to the defensive line and sign all these guys. They're not paying a quarter. They have a couple years to do to win a Super Bowl. They made it to the NFC Championship. They made it to a Super Bowl, NFC Championship game under Brock Purdy. They still haven't won shit. So, you know what I mean? They're not paying a quarterback yet. That's what's keeping them above water right now. Once they actually pay Brock, then they have to be really careful on who they sign. You know, it's not going to be a free for all anymore where they can just go out and spend whatever anymore. It's not. But I want the Eagles to be ready and prepared this year because I want them to punch somebody in the mouth. Because that last 7 weeks of the season, I'm telling you right now, if the 49ers wear all black, come to Lincoln Financial Field, and the Eagles are looking like they don't even want to be there, it's a problem. If Chauncey's on this team right now last year, that shit would never fucking slide. That shit should never slide ever again. Ever again. Because that was horrible. That was really embarrassing. From a mental standpoint, from that team, what they looked like, man, they looked horrible. And that's why I've been as most realistic. I was like, I told everybody after that fucking 49, that Cowboys game, I'm like, if we lose that game, there was the 49ers, then we played Dallas. If we lose that Dallas game, I'm going to be a different fan that nobody's going to like. And people were fighting with me left and right, like, you're giving up on the team. And I'm like, let me tell you something. If the Eagles are not making adjustments, not making adjustments, Nick Sirianni's looking more dumb at his press conferences every single week. And that's why I'm like, I don't like Nick Sirianni right now. I'm not high on him right now. I think Kellen Moore is slated to be the next head coach in the next couple of years. I do. Keep your play calling in-house. Keep what you do on your offense and your in-house. I'd rather have an offensive play caller as a head coach because you have him in the building for years. And and I think at this point, Kellen Moore has been an offensive coordinator for a lot of systems already. Has been an offensive coordinator for a few teams already, and I think that's how it's set up right now. But like I said, like, the way they were mentally just going into these games the last 7 weeks, I mean, I say Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's name because that's how important he is to this defense. Because, like, I'm telling you right now, like, man, his aura is just ridiculous. Like, it only takes one guy. It takes one guy to act the way Chauncey does, to believe in a guy and to play for a guy like that and a defense like that. And everybody will be on the same page. That's all it takes. It doesn't take much. Chris says Cowboys have no running DT center, and they want to draft a receiver. It's not going to work. Chris said, I just have a feeling Purdy is going to flame out like Kaepernick. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. Every time Purdy is dealing with adversity, every time Purdy deals with adversity, he always crumbles. 9 out of 10 times he crumbles. Okay, he loses one player to that offense, it crumbles. I mean, it literally crumbles. So we'll see. He's gonna get paid a lot of money. They better hope they make the right decision, because once they pay, and they're not gonna be able to pay anybody, they're not gonna sign a shit ton of free agents, and they're not gonna have the moves that they're gonna make anymore. Because that contract is going to be huge. The contract is going to be a big contract. That could be close to a $300 million contract. I'm not even kidding. It's going to be fucking insane. It's going to be insane. Internet jokes. I just heard Cowboys fans say they'd rather not go in the Super Bowl than go and lose like we did. Why do you watch the team then? Why do you watch your team to not? Like, I get it. Like, if you don't have the roster, you get it. But you support your team every single week. You said, oh my God, they was getting pushed around like the Eagles ever not been dominant. It had been the coaches. Yeah, and Nick Sirianni was the main reason why all this shit happened last year. His offensive game plan. Brian Johnson was a scapegoat, obviously, because he didn't call any of the plays. Yeah, he held the game plan. Yeah, he held the clipboard. He held Sirianni. It was Sirianni's game plan every single week. Sirianni got full of himself after Shane Steichen left and said, oh, I could do this, Gary's playing the long game, chip tooth. Incoming Devontae Smith, 4 years, $90 million. Hey, we'll see. We'll find out what that contract's gonna look like. He's gonna get like 23, 24 a year. Maybe even more than that. He might get 23, 24 a year. Robert, I just started seeing rumors about Surtain. Eagles making an offer and could offer Bradbury and Ricks. I don't know how true is it. Well, who's saying it? Because I got to go back on Twitter because I haven't even looked. I haven't heard nothing about Surtain. I've heard nothing about Justin Simmons. I've heard nothing about any of them from Denver. Unless they think that because he's still really young. Surtain is still very young, you know. Let's see here. And he says, bro, we got Chauncey Gardner and White on the same defense. Talk about attitude. Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Devin White is a big lead. I mean, he's got a voice, man. I mean, he's got a big voice. Don't be surprised. I know the stats show what they show, but let me tell you something. I think it's gonna. Devin White brings intensity. Well, probably the most athletic linebacker we have. I mean, when it comes to Devin White and what he could do well, his number one thing he could do well is going after the quarterback, blitzing, shooting the gap. Just great. Chris said, I can't wait for Devin White to show the doubters and haters who he really is. He's going to ball out. I think so too, Chris. I think so too. A lot of Eagles fans don't believe it, but I think he will. Here out, the Cowboys fans are just trying to cope. They would love to go to the Super Bowl regardless. Of course, nobody wants to lose, but you want a chance. Stop capping. Chicks, I know everyone's talking about Barkley and Huff and CJ, but I think our most underrated is White. I'm pumped to see an actual proven linebacker play on this team, and it has been too long, mostly in the run game. Yeah, it's true, man. Fangio knows how to use these linebackers. He knows how to use linebackers, which is great. So, Smith deal in 25. Well, yeah, they're not. Yeah, well, the Smith. Yeah, that's when he's a free agent after this year, obviously, but. They have to get something done this year. Like they will get a deal done this year, whether it's right now, whether it's by training camp, whether it's by the draft, whether it's by middle of the season. Going on, Rock. Which was his first time play callers was a big mistake on both sides. Don't necessarily like our coaches, but they bring experience. Well, dude, I'm very big on. This is the best roster that Kellen Moore is ever going to coach. This is bigger than anything. Major Face Pound says CJGK said Eagles Doc Holliday from Tombstone 49ers want to punk Bradbury. Chauncey Gardner will be their Huckleberry. I see Colts trading for Snead. Yeah, I thought the Titans. I've seen the Colts. They said Surtain wanted Dallas to pick him, but Denver jumped Dallas, bitches. It seems like that happens all the time. Just like the Bills jumped Dallas to get Kincaid when they wanted Kincaid. It was the same shit. Isaiah Rodgers, yeah, I'm hoping he mixes in on the inside, that he doesn't mind playing on the inside. I think he's the most twitchy guy we have. We gotta see what happens with Avonte Maddox too. Like if he's even gonna come back, the Eagles will welcome him to coming back, but they need to have some reassurance with some other guys because McPherson's coming off an ACL. So, Donnie says, seeing reports Eagles have made are making an offer for Surtain as we speak. Where is this coming from? I see none of that going on. I'm gonna see if there's even any news on Patrick Surtain. I don't think there is. I haven't seen nothing. I don't think there is. I don't think there's any rumors on it. It's gonna cost a lot, dude. It's gonna cost. Fox, thank you, Howie. He says, one of these speeches, I want Cordell Patterson to kind of running back wide receiver, can run return kicks. Yeah, Cordell's been a nice hybrid type guy, can play multiple positions for your offense, you know. He's still out there, I guess, huh? Chris, I think our coaches are going to be great. You're going to see an offense this city has never seen before. On defense, you'll see guys that aren't afraid to tackle or they'll be on the bench. I think that's definitely true. That's definitely true. Tackling. I mean, the offseason program needs to change too because it's way too. These starters need more playing time in preseason. I know you don't want to get these guys hurt, but they need more time as well. Fly Parks anywhere on Reddick. Honestly, I don't even see a fit in Fangio's scheme. Same with Sweat, but I could be wrong. Well, no, I think they both. I think Reddick fits. He's done it before. It's not that he's never done it. I mean, yeah, he's played the same scheme the last few years. But you can, I mean, you have, depending on, 3-4 multiple schemes, multiple fronts. I think Reddick did it with Arizona. He did a little bit of it with Carolina, but was more of an edge rusher in Carolina. And then, I mean, you could always have him on the line and rush the quarterback. I think they'll do a little bit of both with him, but I would trust Vic Fangio what he's doing. And it seemed like the Eagles had no, didn't seem like the Eagles wanted to get rid of Reddick anyway. It seemed like they wanted him to play on the contract that he's on right now. Cherry Barker says, I want elite corners that can cover and can tackle. Bradbury and soft ass Slay doesn't meet my expectations. No, I get it. I get it. I got to give Lurie credit for letting Howie do it. Yeah. Lurie's not getting involved in anything. Nick hasn't even gotten involved in too much either, especially with the coaching, the coordinator hires, the assistant coaches, and some of the players. I think Fangio is getting his own players, because they have a lot of respect for him. So that makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? So I feel good about it. I feel really good about it that things are starting to change. We'll see how the season goes when the season starts, and that's going to be a whole different story going forward. But I think it's going in a good direction, though. So why give up on Tampa Bay because of his contract situation? Watch what he does for the Eagles. Yeah, Devin White wanted a trade a couple years ago. He wanted to trade a couple years ago, and they didn't give it to him. And I think he's wanted out ever since. I think he's been unmotivated. I just think he's been wanting out, and they just didn't give him what he wanted, and kind of forced him there. We'll see what happens, but give it time. All right, I'm really, really slow on the chat right now. Dave says, I heard one rumor about Marshawn Lassiter, but didn't hear anything else about it since 2 weeks ago. Jazz is correct, Fly. They wanted to move both. Sweat's market didn't pan out, so they reduced his money to keep him one more year and let him walk for free. Right. Fred Fox says he said he was no idea where his upside reports came from. I see any person the Eagles trying to get Surtain. I don't know. I don't know if there's even interest. I haven't seen anything. I've seen nothing. But Justin Simmons is I think the next. I mean, because of the reports, because of the Vic Fangio Justin Simmons connection, where it's going. I don't think we give up on it. Next is Devin White going to miss a ton of tackles, a suspect in coverage, a Tampa season ticket holder here. Good luck with him. We'll see what happens. Like I said, statistically hasn't been great. I know he hasn't been great. I know he hasn't lived up to being the fourth, fifth overall pick. I get it. You never know what can happen. If the guy demanded a trade and didn't get the trade, then obviously he wasn't happy with things over there. So we'll see how it goes. Mike Hale says there's no way we're going to get Surtain. Yeah, I don't know either, dude. I don't know either. Until I see like an actual like legit rumor, I'm not going to believe it. Justin Simmons, I can believe 100% because, like I said, the Fangio connection, I've actually seen reports on it that the Eagles either backed out and then they'll probably go back into communication with the agent to see, you know, what the asking price is going to be now for him. Josh, I did see one mock draft showing Eagles gave up their first rounder, and it was with Denver. Yeah, where's Denver at? Where's Denver at right now? People think Moore invented shifts in motion. No, but I mean he's top 10 in pre-snap motion, which is great. I mean, he runs from under center, he passes from under center. He's worked the RPOs. Likes getting his tight ends involved. I forgot to check. I'm not a fan of Moore and Fangio signings. I have my reasons why, but it'll be even hard for them to mess this up. Look, I get it. There's going to be people that don't like it, but Moore has done enough in this league with the teams that, I mean, even with the Chargers, I mean, they don't have a first. I mean, they had Keenan Allen, they had Eckler, they have a first round receiver that's been pretty much a bust over there. Everybody was hurt. Their quarterback was hurt. You know, I don't think the quarterback played too great last year either. Missed some wide open guys last year in some of the games I watched. If we get Surtain, just give us the trophy. XBT says, super excited to see what Barkley is going to do with an O-line he's never had before. Not only the Eagle fans are going to get their eyes to see what's going on, but the whole world, I think, wants to see what Barkley does with an actual top 3 offensive line with all these weapons around. It's going to be amazing to see. You get a guy, you get an in-the-space type back, a 3-down back that the Eagles haven't had in years. You're going to find out. Barkley's gonna prove to everybody why he should have got his money and why the Giants should have fucking paid him and why they should have built around him. So Jeremy with the super chat, thank you so much, man. He says, I want to know what's happening with Reddick. Really, there's nothing. There's been no reports. So either this is really good or it's really bad regarding the reports for Hassan Reddick. I mean, the longer we wait could be a good thing. The longer we wait could be a bad thing. I feel like if it was bad, something would have been reported by now, at least by NFL Network, or I feel like something probably would have happened by now on the reports. If it was really that bad, and like even when Josh Sweat got restructured, there was no news. Like it totally there was like no news at all. So I'd give it some time. I wouldn't jump the gun yet on he's gone or whatever's going on. We'll see what happens. But you know, give it time. Give it time. We got a super chat from Slick. Thank you so much, man. Can't wait to see this offense, Joey. Haven't seen an offense like this for the Eagles since 2001. Yeah, Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is gonna to deplete every strand of skill level out of every position that you have. He uses every receiver, 1, 2, and 3. Loves using the tight ends. I mean, even the run pass ratio is definitely different in some cases, but he actually ran more with the Eagles this year. I mean, sorry, he ran more last year than what the Eagles did this past year. So he loves getting his running backs in the passing game. You know, Saquon Barkley in the passing game. I mean, you throw to him on stride, man. It's insane. I mean, there's way too much attention on these receivers and tight ends and this offensive line. And even Jalen Hurts extending plays. I mean, I think it's going to be monstrous. It should have been more explosive last year. The Eagles didn't have one dominant game last year. The Eagles were pulling out last minute wins out of their ass, and it just wasn't sitting well with me. It was great to go through, but every game should not be a heart attack like that. It should not be like that. 30 plus, it should be 35 plus, 40 plus points a game from your offense. You know, so they can't win. I mean, it's okay winning like that once in a while, but when it's every fucking game, no first half productivity, no adjustments made to your offense, your substitutions are making it so obvious who you're not using for specific plays. You put it's a second and short, third and short. You take Swift out, you put Gainwell in. It's making it look like it's going to be a pass. I mean, you're making things way too obvious, and I think that's what they did, and they failed at it, unfortunately. So I agree, man. I'm pretty excited myself. No Cut Sports Podcast Super Chat. Thank you so much, man. It says Keenan Allen had his best year under Kellen Moore. I can't wait to see what he does with his offense. Also think they keep Reddick. Yeah. Keenan Allen had a really good year. Did not want to take a pay cut. The Chargers want him to take a pay cut. He's like, I'm coming off my best year. I'm not taking a pay cut. And he goes to the Bears for a 4th round pick. A 4th round pick, dude. Shit. Crazy. It's crazy. It sounds like they're going to keep Reddick. If I'm not hearing any bad news at this point because of all this quietness, it looks like it is a good sign, but we still have to wait and see. We got Nifty 350D. What's going on, man? I hope you're having a good day, dude. He said, thank you for the super chat. Said, would Parker be an upgrade over Watkins in your opinion? Yes, I think so. I think Parker is an upgrade. I think Parker's not a lock at wide receiver 3. They could draft somebody else. We'll see what happens, but Parker is 31 years old. Okay, he's got size, he's got speed, he can still run. You know, the thing is, he's got to stay healthy. He's got he's got reliable hands. He's got contested catching. Devontae Parker, because he's not going to get so much attention, I think could be a big, he could have a bigger opportunity to make a difference this year, but I'm not going to say he's going to be a lock. We'll see how it goes. Well, they got a vet. They got a vet at wide receiver 3 at a cheap price, $1.2 million. Not much. Rufus Wallace, the super chat. Thank you so much, man. Sub big homie. Only thing I want to hear from Howie is him extending Reddick for 2 years. Plus this Bark signing as Giants fans wishing baddish on him. Yeah, I know the Barkley signing, dude. I don't know why they don't blame their front office. Like they didn't even match an offer this past year. They didn't even match an offer for free agency. They had a chance to sign him last year. The Giants fans don't deserve him. They shouldn't have drafted him. We all knew this as Eagle fans when he got drafted. We were like, man, he's probably gonna have a really bad career. They're wasting his year. They wasted too many of 6 seasons. They wasted 6 years of he's done everything he possibly could for that franchise. But for him to go to a rival and get the money that he wants, and the Giants fans are gonna put it all on Barkley and give him shit. I hope Saquon Barkley. I hope he just annihilates the league this year. I hope he does. But Reddick should be staying. That's what I'm hoping as of right now. Hoping things do change down the road. See. Appreciate the super chat, Rufus. Nifty 350 with super chat. Thank you so much. If they get another back, he needs the pass block too. Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to go into the draft for somebody that protects well out of the backfield? I would say on the 3rd day they'll probably draft a guy, maybe more of a dual threat type guy for the offense. If they're keeping 3 running backs this year, that's a whole nother situation as of right now. If they're even keeping 3 guys, so we'll see what happens by that time going forward. What's going on? Oh, yeah. It's so funny, dude. Like, Philadelphia Eagles just put up a tweet of a video saying sometimes in a breakup you say things you don't mean, and it's like a bunch of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson videos. Funny. Marcel Carr says, keep Reddick, extend Devontae, move on the draft. Let Chauncey play safety and draft cornerback, linebacker, wide receiver 3. I'd be perfectly fine with that. Perfectly fine. But I'm sorry, but I'm still looking for Justin Simmons right now. Until he is signed elsewhere, I will not stop talking about it. I'll post a video every day about Justin Simmons until he gets signed somewhere else or with the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll find out. Jose, if Parker can stay on the field, they call him Bigfoot because you never see him. God. One of these pieces, Saquon helped Daniel Jones a $40 million contract. I believe that. Daniel Jones had his moments too, but theoretically, like, we know that Saquon Barkley was the face of that offense. We know that 100%. 100%. Fetty Gabe says Justin Simmons can draft cornerback, will complete the secondary. Yeah, I mean, even if they don't get Justin Simmons, I won't be upset about it. But you know, I feel like another body needs to be added. We'll see. GOLD, what's going on, dude? Says Shakes, what's up, my guy? What's the word? The word is we haven't done nothing else yet, and Howie is quiet, back to being quiet now. So we'll see what happens. Got super chat from Nifty 350D. What's going on, man? So Watkins needs to go. He's so bad. I even question his 4.35 speed. Never has separation. He's 4.5 in pads at best. I say Ladd or Purcell round 3 if they're potentially, yeah. No, I mean, I'm tired of getting guys that just have the speed. Like, I need some route running capability. I really do need some route running capability. I need more than that. You know, speed only gets you so far. Like the Shelton Gibsons of the world, you know, guys like that have all the speed and they're deep threats, but can't contest the catch. They can't concentrate on a catch. Like, look what happens to some of these guys. Very upset over Quez Watkins. Very, very, very upset over it because I thought he would have had a better year this past year. I know the offense was a complete mess, but you can't count on a guy like Quez Watkins. Even in 22, not even playing in consistent games, having that grade 2 shoulder sprain. You give him one of the biggest throws in the Super Bowl in 22 and he can fucking drops it. Like, you can't, like, that can't happen. Same as Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley signs like a $92 million deal, 52 guaranteed. Like, Calvin Ridley is not on AJ Brown status of getting paid. Like, not even close. Like, I don't know why the Titans overpaid for his ass, but he has dropped some easy fucking balls in the air. So I get it, dude. I get it. Appreciate the super, by the way, dude. Brian says, how much do we have left in the cap to get Simmons? Didn't we spend all our money? No, we didn't spend all our money at all. I don't know. It said 4th in cap with $39 million. That's what it says. But they're definitely still over 30. But not even that. Like I said earlier in the stream, like, you free up 11 to 16 million dollars, whether it's a cut, whether it's a trade, or it's a re-sign for Hassan Reddick and an extension. You're saving over $11 million in cap space, even with that. We haven't even made that move yet as of right now. There's a big chunk of cap coming to the Eagles. It's going to happen. We're going to get it, regardless of what happens. It's going to happen. We're going to get it. So give it some time. Give it some time because it's going to happen. See. Did Jalen Hurts post a workout video? Yeah, I seen that. I just saw it just now, actually, because it just popped up on my feed. He's jumping like a rabbit right now. Dubs says, Danny Dimes without Saquon going to be fun to watch. Yeah, who did they sign? They signed Devin Singletary, right? Devin Singletary, is that who they signed? Kyle said, I want Simmons and Blackman. Blackman is going to be so cheap and could learn a ton from Justin Simmons. They have similar builds, and look what Jevon Holland did with Fangio last year. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you know, so Blackman's coming off of a big injury, isn't he? So he'd be really cheap. I don't think they get both of them. I think they get one of them if that's the case. I think they still add another safety. Yeah, it says 39 million. Somebody came into the chat earlier and said, oh, look on Spot Track. It's updated. It's not the right number or something. I don't know. I'm reading what something. It was just reported like 3-4 hours ago. It was like 39 million. Fourth in the league in cap space. Fourth in the league after 13 moves, really, between restructures, re-signings, free agency. 13 moves the Eagles have made. Counting, because I have, 12 here. Josh Sweat is another one. Okay, still have close to 40 in cap space if that's the case. We'll see how it goes. Stephon Diggs gets traded to Baltimore. Leroy says, great pod. Appreciate it, man. We're here every day. Every day. We got 648 in the chat as of right now, going strong. Thank you so much for joining the stream. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Let's just try to get over 300 likes if we can to the stream. It does help out the channel out a lot, and I do appreciate everybody that's been supporting and just hanging out with me the last 7 days, 7 straight streams, all week and going through this free agency together. So I do appreciate it so much, and definitely check out the pinned comment and in the live chat in the description as well for memberships. Become a member, support the channel, and the extra content for draft highlight stuff is all there. I'm gonna be I haven't uploaded anything in about 6-7 days because free agency has been crazy. So it's starting to like die down a little bit now. We'll get into more of the memberships every single day starting tonight, so it'll be a lot more content on there. There's already a good amount of content on there now, so definitely check out some of that, and some behind the scenes videos as well. I'll be putting some behind the scenes membership videos as well that I don't normally upload, that will probably get demonetized for at some point for it. So I appreciate it so much. Yes, I'm pretty happy with the roster as we can go into the draft and get what we need. Ryan says, no way we have 39 million. However, we said we have signed 10 guys already. Well, it's not. Well, because some of the moves you save cap. You save money from Jake Elliott. You save money from Jake Elliott, 1 to 2 million. You saved over 2 million for Josh Sweat's restructure. So it's not impossible. Like if you're, restructuring guys, re-signing guys, extending guys, you do save money, but you got to go through all the context of that. That's all. ADW the Beat says, Lad McConkey. Let me tell you something. He's like my favorite receiver in this draft, but see what happens. I like Lad. Nifty 350 with Super Chat. Thank you so much, man. It says a healthy Brown and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is a good tandem. Oh, yeah, dude. Like, telling you. Sidney Brown, I feel like will be a better safety than a corner, to be honest with you, because he just has too much athletic ability. So I like him a lot. I really like. So unfortunately, they put him in a game that really didn't matter, and Sidney Brown tore his ACL. It sucks. It is what it is. Hopefully he's back sooner. He looks really good right now. He did come out with a video not too long ago, maybe a week ago. And he looked good. I mean, he looks like he's already almost coming back. So, we'll see what happens. He's going to miss a little bit of the offseason probably. But can't wait till he gets back and see what they do with him. He's another added piece that we would have. We keep forgetting too about him at cornerback and safety. But what does Vic Fangio look at him as? We'll see how it goes. So it looks like KJ Osborne from the Vikings is signing with the Patriots. KJ Osborne is still out there. Still out there. Let's see here. Torville, what's going on, man? He says, I still don't think we could say that Howie has changed philosophy on linebackers till he drafts one the high pick, even Wise reclamation project. Well, I think we could say he kind of did regarding the running back position, because how much did our running backs cost all of last year as a whole? Like $4 to $6 million as a whole. That's what our running backs cost. I think the philosophy has changed a little bit, that he's willing to do things. So what is going to make you think his change their philosophy is going to be? If they draft a linebacker between the first and second round, yeah, maybe. But paying Saquon Barkley $12 million a year, the next, this year and next year, and then the third year is an option year. I think he's already kind of showed us that already. Howie Suge Knight Roseman. Moo, he said, hit the like button. Definitely hit the like button if you guys haven't. Appreciate it. Okay. That says Hurts got a finger injury last year. His speed has dropped off every season. What? The Eagles culture is good. It is good, man, but when things are starting to go downhill, you gotta like make adjustments, and you got to. I just didn't like with how they, especially Nick and what he did with this team. So we got Robert. Oh, what's going on, man? He says, even though Aguilar sucked at the Super Bowl, man, I just watching highlight videos from 17-18 season. He was unbelievable. Still gotta respect him. Yeah, I mean, Mike Groh put a fire under him in 17. Mike Groh put a fire under him, played really well. Yeah, Nelson Aguilar just turned it around, man. I mean, he's still playing. He got signed early. He got signed real early to the Baltimore Ravens, So it is what it is. The Eagles picked up his 5th-year option after 17. He played horrible. He went back to Drop-a-lure after that. Then he signed like a barely $1 million. He barely signed $1 million deal for the Raiders. He played absolutely amazing. Then played for the Patriots for a couple years, and yeah, he was very up and down. And then went to Baltimore. He hasn't played too bad, not horrible, but yeah, man, like Nelson Aguilar, you know what? He's, he did, he played where it mattered for us, and that's all that matters, like I've always liked him. He's been benched, he's been inconsistent, he's had too many up and down years, way too many up and down years. So, Got Rufus Wallace super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, hey, Joe, let's hope nobody wants Simmons so we can get him cheap come June. I call Howie Dr. Strange because he has a strange way getting deals done. He gets them done with magic. That's how he does it. So just give it time. I think I'm not giving up on Simmons. I'm not giving up on Simmons until he's going elsewhere. We'll see what happens, but I would get Oz back. We don't have to draft a wide receiver 3, but why not? There's probably somebody better than Oz. There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of speed. There's a lot of good route running wide receivers in this draft, dude. I draft if they have interest in getting Devontae Parker, a big receiver with speed like that, I'd go after Leggett. I'd go after a Donnie Mitchell. Like, I want a big receiver with speed. Why not, dude? Why not? Nifty with the super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. He says, future secondary, DeGene, Chauncey Johnson, Brown, Ringo in this Fangio scheme with Rodgers as the fly. I think that's a strong step after Bradbury Slay leave. Yeah, I think so too. We'll see. We'll give it a shot with Ringo. I think potentially, I'm not going to say now because I want to overhype it too much. I think potentially once Slay leaves, the Eagles draft their number 1 guy this year. I think potentially Ringo could be that number 2. I'm not going to say now. I think Eli Ricks has flashed. I think Ringo has flashed. I just don't think there's enough time behind it and good coaching behind it. How are you supposed to get the best out of your players if you set up your players for failure? You make your players look bad. How are you supposed to evaluate your roster at the end of the year by the way they ended last year? Seriously, as a coaching staff and a GM, how are you supposed to evaluate your roster when you the locker room was literally giving up on the head coach? That's what annoys me about it. that annoys me the most, probably, about the whole entire situation as of right now. You know what I mean? So. Let's see here. It said, appreciate Super Nifty. He said, the Mandalorian Don says, what up, Joey? Do you think Howie is looking for a corner, either trade for or drafting? I think either or. It can go either or. They could trade for one. They could sign one in the draft. I don't know. I'm not seeing much rumors about a trade right now. But things do get quiet at times. And things can just happen in 2 seconds. So... Jerome says he has drafted anyone from UGA first round. Robert says, I heard that Corey Clement wants back. Yeah, no, that's no. He can't get a job, dude. I mean, he can't get a job, unfortunately. Joe says Nelson Aguilar a slot wide out, not outside wide. Wait, he says, I'm with you on Joey not giving on Simmons. I'm not giving up on Simmons until he's traded somewhere else. I'm sorry, but there's way too many connections, and the reports came out they gave up because I guess Simmons put too much money on himself. The safety market has been gutted as of right now, so it's definitely down in value. John said, if you want a bigger receiver in the speed with speed, we need to trade up into the early second round and get Brian Thomas Jr. Another guy I definitely have to look at. Baseball says MVS for wide receiver 3. Eagles owe him for ensuring victory at KC last season. Yeah, I wonder why he's still available. Mark Vandelis Scanling, whatever his name is, he's still available. Nifty, what's going on, man? With the super chat, thank you so much. Is Purcell or McConkey or fast Welkers? Yeah, the thing is, I don't think they're as much as I like Ladd McConkey and Xavier Worthy and some of these guys. Like, I feel like they don't want like a fast receiver, because if you if you draft a guy early, you want him to be a future guy with Devontae Smith. You want two of the same size, speed guys. You want a big receiver. The Eagles like using a big receiver, so I feel like a Donnie Mitchell. I feel like there's just interest somewhere else. So we'll see. We'll see. D says Simmons will be an Eagle if he stays available till next week. The more days he's available, the more I feel like he's gonna come here. Ghost Wayne Z said, would you take Leonard Fournette to back up Saquon? I don't think it's needed. I mean, he was on the practice squad for the Bills last year. I mean, can he still play? I mean, what's going on with him? What's going on with him as of right now? Let's see. I prefer my pancakes well done. I don't think I've ever had a pancake well done. I mean, I don't know. But, I mean, burnt. I mean, you want them burnt, I guess, right? Burnt is the answer for well done. Already out. He says 6 foot 181 is the perfect size. Twist says we just need Avant, someone with sure hands. D-Mike says fast receiver. Can you catch and run? Yeah, I know. I think Ladd McConkey can do that. I mean, the fast. I think there's actually good receivers that I think there are smaller receivers in this draft that actually have speed and can actually catch and get open. I mean, I actually think you actually have that in this draft this year. Wiki Hammer says Simmons is falling for the same trap Jones Guard did last offseason, asking for too much money when nobody's paying what he thinks he is worth. He's going to have to settle for less, unfortunately. I agree with that. I totally agree. YHP says, I was watching UGA versus TCU game. Jalen Carter puts pressure on Max Duggan, fire Eagle, Javon Bullard, caught an interception. Nolan Smith celebrated sideline. The Kobe Dean came to the game. Oh, no shit. Sweet. We got Gravy's World. What's going on? What's going on, Gravy's World? With the super chat, thank you so much, man. He says, how do we feel about Nick and how he can get all these dogs to believe in the system? I just think they just need a reset. I think having a different coaching staff. I think once the players see that the Eagles are making moves to the coaching staff, I think they'll feel a little bit better going into the season mentally. But Nick, for me, is on the hot seat because I'm sorry, but I need to see if like he's going to stay away from the play calling, because if he's even involved a little bit, we're going to find out. We're going to see. You know, I'm not high on Sirianni. Like I was really pissed off the way he ran this team the last 7 weeks. The excuses that came out from this team the last 7 weeks, his press conferences, and you know whether he was taking a lot of blame. You know, he was taking a blame. You know, for the players, and he wanted to be of the blame for everything. You know, I get it, but unfortunately, you know, I wasn't happy. I wasn't impressed. You know, you got to see two sides from your head coach. The one side you got to see is, okay, well, you know, the Eagles are winning. You know, how does the head coach keep your team uplifted to keep winning? And I think he could do that. He's a player's coach. He's a tone setter for the room, for the roster. So I'm good with that. But when the team starts losing, like, what do you turn into? What do you do if, you know, you're losing games consistently? And I wasn't impressed by the way he ran this team the last 7 weeks. I wasn't. His press conferences, he hired way too many young coaches around him. He couldn't give the play calling to somebody else. Nothing could change, and he kept doing the same thing he's been doing every week. Unfortunately, that's what happened, and this is where we're at now. And you know, Nick is a person I like, but when it comes to, you know, the rest of this roster in general, like, no excuse for what you have this year and to be a total fail. So, Robert, I still think the season is more about Kellen Moore and his dress performance for head coach. And Nick will be gone no matter what happens this year. So you think he's gone no matter what happens? Yeah, I mean, the only thing you're going to lose with Nick and he's gone is that rah-rah mentality. Because unfortunately, Kellen Moore is not the rah-rah type guy. He's quiet, you know, but he's an X's and O's type guy. And that's kind of what we want in the building as of right now. So potentially, I think, and I've said this for weeks, I feel like, yes, Kellen Moore will be the next head coach coming up. That's where I feel like it's all going to go down, regardless. We'll see where that goes in the meantime. Chris's championship game appearance at minimum is required to save his job. Yeah, it might have to be at this point. I mean, it might have to be. You know, you should at this point, like, fight for that number one seed. I mean, you choked away the first seed, you choked away the second seed, you choked away the division. I mean, you choked away everything. Provis, if you're a player, you're going to want to listen to Nick's long, rambling speeches and meetings when the players know he basically has almost no power now. And it's true. I don't think he's got nothing. Howie Roseman got more power. Jeffrey Lurie is putting more towards Howie Roseman and more towards having respect for what Kellen Moore and what Vic Fangio want in their schemes. Especially Vic Fangio. He's got the utmost respect because he left 2 weeks before the Super Bowl in 22 because he thought he wasn't going to have a job in Philadelphia because it was already on the table that, Gannon was coming back. You know what I mean? It was already a lot on the table that Gannon was coming back. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. You know, see how it goes. Bill says, I hope the knowledge of Sidney Brown could learn from Simmons and Chauncey Gardner, make it worth signing. Oh yeah, no, I think I think he'll be fine. I don't really worry about him too much. David Such, thank you so much, man. Nick benefits a more youthful, childish roster. Yeah, he should be a coach for a peewee football team, a peewee league. Let me tell you, like, I played for a peewee league. I played for a few years. I mean, I played for the 49ers in the peewee league when I first started playing. There was the Giants, the 49ers, the Packers, and the Cowboys. There was only 4 teams in the peewee league. The best team was the Cowboys because they had this guy that never, unfortunately, there was a talent that we could have had in high school that he was amazing, and he ended up screwing up his whole life, which really sucked. He was like he could have had a scholarship, he could have had so much, and he blew it all away. But I was actually a San Francisco 49er years ago on a peewee league. But yeah, I'm not flexing shit. I'm not flexing anything. So I didn't have a choice where I went. I was either going to be a New York Giant or I was going to be a 49er back in the Pee Wee League. So, yep, that's what happened. That's what happened. I was a 49er. So I actually have pictures of it. I actually have pictures on my phone of me in like actual 49ers gear. And when I was really young, I was really, really young. But, you know, that was fucking years ago. Yeah, flex. All right. All right. I was, I was a big time player back in the Pee Wee leagues. There was Nick basically wasn't a favor in using a lot of pre-snap motion. Moore is big on pre-snap motion, so I wonder how they will see eye to. Well, dude, there's no seeing eye to eye. There's no jointing. You remember when Nick was like, "Oh, we're gonna connect both our schemes together"? Fucking, you better not. That better be bullshit. That better be a bunch of bullshit. Because I'm telling you right now, like pre-snap motion, okay, pre-snap motion. Kellen Moore's a top 10 coach in that. You know, top 10 coach. Mr. E says, "Hey Joey, any thoughts on bringing back Andre Dillard back for OT depth?" I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I thought before he left, he was starting to play pretty good at left tackle. So we don't have a backup left tackle behind Mulata. So to be honest, like I honestly wouldn't mind it because he will be cheap. Knows the players on this roster already. No, I mean, before he left, I thought he was playing pretty good because I know he went in for some games, and I thought he played pretty good. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't see why we, Leon says, "What position did you play in high school?" I played I played offensive. I played left tackle and defensive end. They switched me by my junior year. They switched me from defensive end to DT because I was just so much better on bull rushing inside. Then I went to college and played defensive end in college. So, but I played every position on the offensive line. Like once I got to my senior year, I didn't even play the offensive line. I played defensive tackle the entire year because I want to focus on putting more tape on and stuff like that. So. This is just sub Joey O'Winers fanboy. Hide your husband's ladies. Yeah, I mean, if there was an Eagle, I mean, look, I don't know if there was there was no Eagles team. There was only 4 teams in the Pee Wee League. That was it. Yeah, all I did was bull rush. I had a swim move. I used to have a really nice spin move on the edge when I got close to college. I had a really nice spin move, but I was afraid to use it because I thought I was going to fucking embarrass myself. But I had a good swim though. I had a nice, not even a swim, but I had a nice rip move as well. See, he said, "Now this is why I love your stream, bro. You're real." That's all I am. That's all I am. One of these pieces just realized almost every year Jeff Stalin coached O-lines at the combine. Yeah, he did it this year too. It shows, man. It's great to have him out there because it's like he gets hands-on with these guys. He gets all hands-on with these guys. You know? That was what you said. My thing with Cilio is not that I care how it can possibly get worse. Adding Saquon coaches, we literally be up all week trying to scheme for the offense, Kelsey or not. Yeah. Nate said I play OT and DT and couldn't tackle. Hey, it happens. I broke my teammate's fucking arm, I think, in practice. Yeah, junior year I broke my teammate's arm. And I didn't even care. I was an angry fuck, dude. I was an angry asshole. I didn't care. But yeah. Maybe it's about Joey Albany Shakes. Did I ever tell you about the time I scored 4 touchdowns for Polk High State Championship? My 40 time was a 4.8. My 40 time was a 4.8, 4.9. I was between a 4.8, 4.9 as a offensive defensive lineman, which wasn't bad. At all. My college number, I don't even remember what my college number was. I got pictures I have to look back on. I totally forgot. It was in the 70s, I think. It might have been 72, to be honest, because my name's Joey Shake 72, so it might have been 72. I think it was 72. Michael said, "What running back should we draft?" I'm not a big fan of the running back class, to be honest. Like Braylon Allen is like the guy I would get just because I'm more familiar with him. But no, I did. No, I honestly did. No lie. I ran a 4.8 to 4.9, which isn't that bad. I mean, I was quick, man. You see pictures of me back in high school. I had a little bit of fat on me, but I was pretty lean back in high school. I was really fucking lean back in high school, like late high school. Like by my senior year, I was really fucking lean. Dylan Laub is not a bad one. I know from New Hampshire. Yeah, he's another guy that's more of a dual threat. I was just saying, I think Sirianni might still have potential, but his seat is mega hot, ultra hot seat. I think so too. Bill's exposed Howie. What? Michael Johnson says, what would be the first 4 positions you would draft? Corner, linebacker, offensive line, and wide receiver. That's it. That's where I'm at. I don't know why nobody believes that. I said between a 4.8 to a 4.9. That's what I said. I mean, how you guys don't know what I did. You guys don't know how good of a shape I was back in late high school. I was in really good shape, dude. I was running every single day. I was running with fucking 25, 30, 40 pound vests on. Fucking, I was in the weight room every single day, dude. I was a training machine back in the day. Seriously, like, I was really fucking quick. I had fucking God, I could record a whole bunch of video. I have all my old fucking tape, everything. You'd be like, holy shit. Like, no joke. Man, there's been a boatload of speed with this year's backs. I didn't look like a fat fucking lineman because I was tall back in high school too. I was taller than a lot of the guys back in high school as well. So, D says, Sills exposed Howie. Some folks in the fan base are lost. Yeah, no news right now. No. Pickett said here, late round combo running back. His name is Gadaboo. He was ASU but tore it up in FCS. Heard 49ers team to watch trade for Zach Wilson. I guess they need a backup. I don't know who their backup is, to be honest. Raiders said, I tried to play wide receiver in high school, but I was very slow. I was recorded 5.8. Yeah, I don't think that's going to cut it, dude. Major face bomb says, Isaac Guerrero, Louisville running back, smashed the combine, but his college career is lackluster. Can he make it as a pro? Like I said, I couldn't tell you. It's 350D. Appreciate super chat. Says, I don't want a Dorial Green slot guy. Pre-snap motion. We need a crisp route runner who can create separation with AJ is big. Well, no, I mean, you could get a big receiver that's real crafty in route running. There's plenty of them out there. So I think we just got to give it time. Just give it time on some of these roster moves and see what happens. We got 619 in the chat. I appreciate everybody coming to the stream today. I was supposed to do the stream earlier, but I had some things to do today. So glad everybody is in the chat. Everybody's having a good time. Trying to join free agency as much as possible. Let's try to get the stream to 400 likes. if we can, or close to it. I do appreciate it so much. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Cover the Eagles every single day. We're going to be streaming again tomorrow, so we will stream early tomorrow. Have a lot to do. And yeah, we'll get some things done tomorrow and go through free agency again. We'll go through another couple minutes of the draft. We'll go through a couple minutes of the stream, and then I think we'll head out at this point. You know, I think we had a lot to talk about today. We'll have more to talk about tomorrow. We'll see what happens. If a signing happens tonight, we'll stream. If we'll do a video, we'll do whatever. Check out the pinned comment for memberships as well and extra content. I'll be starting to upload more of that tonight and through the next days. I still got a lot more guys to go over regarding the draft and stuff like that. So definitely check out the membership, supporting the channel and all that great stuff. The extra content is there if you want it. But hopefully everybody has enjoyed themselves this stream. So definitely subscribe, like the video like crazy, and we'll be back. You know, so we'll go over another couple minutes. I got to get going for the day. It's almost 5 in the afternoon. I got to get some stuff. I have to do some things. As basically, stay tuned. Just want to show love for your podcast. I know I'm getting the truth when I come here. Thanks for keeping us updated on everything. I got you, man. Every day, I got you. I got you. There's no bullshit around here. I'll say that. Miles says, I have been watching you for a while now. Could I please get a wrench? Yeah, dude, John, I'll give a wrench. I just gave a wrench the other day. I haven't really gave wrenches out like crazy because people have been getting blocked, and I really hate when that happens. And because people have a different, you know, decision on things, and it just gets really annoying at times, you know. So when people do that, but we'll see. Hold on one second. Let's see. Popfair said, "I'll be 1,000% honest. I don't watch college football. Just hope I have a great draft class. That's it." Well, that's fine, dude. There's nothing wrong with that. See, that's the thing with everybody. Like, there are guys out there that think you have to watch college football. You know, I don't have, like, I watch some games during the year, but I don't have time. I don't have time, like, you know, to believe it. Like, I have a 9-to-5 job every fucking day that I work my ass off. Okay, I'm a supervisor for a job, so like I have a 9-to-5 job every day. I have this as a, you know, a hobby, I guess you could call it. You know, I don't want to be a professional podcaster. I don't want to be working for I don't want to be a beat writer. I don't do this to do that. Like, I do this for fun. And obviously, because it's gotten a lot bigger now that, you know, it's become, you know, more of like a second job now, but it's fun. You know what I mean? So that's you know what it is, you know. That's where we're at right now. I don't have time to watch. I don't have time to watch college football every week. I don't. I watch some games. I watch some reruns of some games. But it's really tough. Really tough to watch. But, you know, I don't put anybody down for not doing that shit. And if anybody does put people down for it, that's real shitty. So that's all I gotta say. But during the year, always busy. Off season's even more busy at this. But Michael Meehan says, Joey, you rant. This is your chat. You be you. Yeah, dude, I get it. Without you guys, this channel is nothing. Without you guys, none of this happens, you know? So that's where we're at. We're at right now. 5350 with the super chat says, Uncle Ruckus wants more white players. Oh, God. Like, man, people are like, I want Cooper. I don't want Cooper DeJean because he's white. People, I got that comment so much. I got that comment so much, dude. I got that comment so much. Like, I'm not drafting Cooper DeJean because he's white. I'm like, what? I'm like, what's like? If the talent's, I don't care about that. If he has the talent, then who cares? You know. Oh, we got Major Facepalm gifted 1 Joey Shake 72 membership. Who got the membership? DB Talking Now has been gifted a membership for the month for the extra content and the support. Thank you so much, Major Facepalm, for giving everybody should be gifting memberships. A lot of people don't know how to gift memberships. You can gift 1 membership. It's very cheap. For people, it randomly gives. So if you gift a membership, it randomly gives somebody a membership. You can't pick somebody to get the membership, so it just randomly gives somebody the membership inside inside whoever's in the chat. So it looks like DB Talking Now has got the membership as of right now, and appreciate so much Major Facepalm for gifting that for somebody else. Do appreciate so much, man. Thank you for the gifted, no doubt. Fred says, use the scout cosplayers for draft for fun. It's time to consuming, and you have your favorite players, and if you don't get them, it's hard. Oh yeah, I could imagine, like, if you're so into it and you're actually a scout, you see so many players, and you're just like, man, you lose out on some guys going to other places. Yeah, that must be horrible. Fred's the same here. Cowboys fan got it. So he said, the way the word is today, side hustles help, especially if you enjoy what you're doing. Let me tell you something. 9-to-5 jobs are in an existence now. Like, you don't go into a store now and put out an application physically anymore. You're just like a body. You're just a number. You don't have a physical, a face-to-face. There's no such thing as face-to-face interviews anymore. Like, half of these places don't even do background checks anymore. Like, they just want someone to fill a spot. They just want bodies. They just want numbers. That's all they want. 9-to-5 jobs are nothing now. Really, it comes down to I forgot what's the word? What's the word? Self-service job. What's the word? A job that you do on your own, that you work for yourself. Come on, give it to me. Well, there's a lot of jobs that don't do one-on-one interviews. A lot don't. I mean, if it's the only job I could see that you have face-to-face interviews is all retail. It's all retail. I did retail for 10, 11 years and got nowhere, and got screwed over. Should have been a department manager, never got that. Should have been a fucking assistant manager, never got that. Yeah, self-employed, obviously, yeah. Independent contractor, or yeah. You go through one of the, I think that's the way you got to do it now. That's the way you have to do it now. I feel like you have to work for yourself. You have to work for yourself. A job only lets you work a certain amount of hours. A job only makes you, a job only tells you how much money you can make. It sucks. It's a shitty world, But I did retail for 11 years, and it fucking sucked. It was horrible. I enjoyed it for a long time. Independent contractor still working for an independent contractor, still working for somebody else. Not if it's not I'm talking a oh my god, the fuck's the word? When you have like literally your own side business that you pretty much do your own side business, where you decide when you work, and you decide when you make money, and you decide everything. Nobody just makes those decisions for you. That's where it matters the most, And I've had, even with retail, I've always liked the people I worked with. It was department heads, and really it came down to management. Management is where I had the biggest problem. Is where I've had the biggest issue. So, but you know what I mean? But God, it's another damn name when you do, like, if you go on like these apps now where people are like doing things for money, like people that create like PowerPoints for people, or people that help people with businesses, like they go out and like do certain things for you. Like, I forgot what those jobs are called. Like, they're I forgot what they're called. Like, getting entrepreneur. Easter. Would you try Nolan Smith off ball? Well, I think they're gonna play him at off ball linebacker anyway. I think that's definitely gonna happen. It's another name for a freelancer. A freelancer. Yes, Carl, 100% freelancer. That's what I'm talking about. As a freelancer, you could do whatever you want, and if it works out, it's great. Great. You obviously still got to pay. You obviously, depending on what you're doing, like obviously if you're working through like a company that gives you the tools to create stuff and do things, then you have to pay taxes out of it. But strictly if you can make as much money as you possibly want. Yeah, door dashing is not bad, dude. I know people that did it. I know people that did it and don't do it anymore. Like, like you gotta make the money, dude. Sucks out here. Everything's too expensive. Where I live, everything's too expensive. Everything's way too expensive now, fortunately. Like, I want to get the fuck out of here. Like, New York is. I live in the most highly taxed county in New York, and I can't stand it. Like, rents are like, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, it's crazy now. I just bought like a brand new truck like a month ago. So everything adds up. Everything you own, it fucking adds up. You know what I mean? Yeah, like you work for a company that gives you the tools, but you decide how much you make in a day. You decide when you want to go out and start driving and DoorDash. You decide how long you want to stay out. You make that decision. You know what I mean? Varsity Report says, yo, Joey, any advice for trying to get your podcast views or trying to get your name out there? Because that's what I'm trying to do. I think you just gotta upload content, man. That's it. Don't worry about how shit, for me at least, I started just putting shit on my phone and like that was it. Like I think you just gotta upload and upload and upload and upload and just be yourself and be different, and that's it. DoorDash and Uber Eats is something you could do on the side, but hard to do as a career. Yeah. Rent a car. Yeah, I mean, getting into I just bought a brand new truck, and it's like, yeah, like I'm not. If I had like a big house with my own garage and all this space, I would finance a car. But if like to be honest, I hate financing shit because like I don't like to work on things. I like I'd rather not work. Let the dealership take care of the car every few months, and I don't got to worry about it. You know what I mean? I just drive it and don't worry about it. Okay, it's not. It's a show truck. The Jeep Gladiator is a show truck, not an actual pickup truck. It is a pickup truck. It's a 4x4. It's got a tail bed. For the haters, so Jermaine says, Joey, what kind of truck you just buy? I want those Ford Maverick. Yeah, the Maverick. I heard them. I don't know. The Mavericks I hear I mean, you have to do some customization to that shit because the tires are bad on that truck. It doesn't do well in the snow at all. It doesn't really do well in bad weather. And it's all electric, and you got to be careful with, I don't know where that I'm guessing the battery is on the bottom of, I mean, hopefully it's protected and it doesn't get, shit doesn't get, salt and like it gets corroded inside because the battery gets wet. And I like the Ford Mavericks as well. I actually really like the Ford Mavericks. Buy salvage vehicles. Yeah, dude. I've been driving hunks of garbage my whole life. As long as they got me to point A to point B, I don't care. Like I've been. It was just a time where I was like, man, I have never thought about buying a new truck, and like I've always wanted a new truck. I was like, screw it. So, yeah, Tacomas are really nice too. Nice. You want to get something off road, man? Tacomas are great. Tacomas are awesome. Backstall to the Giants. Yeah, it happened a day or two ago. Yeah. A car is not expensive. You know, the average car payment every month is $715. I mean, that's just fucking insane, dude. That's insane. $715 for a car payment. That's fucking nuts. I mean, I asked the guy when I was doing all my tax work. He was like, I was like, can I ask what's like the average car payment in the U.S., like the United States? Like, what do people actually pay? He's like $715. I'm like, damn, fucking nuts, dude. His $4,000 a month studio camper. Taxes. Hey Joey, what are your best cars to get when you start out driving? It really just depends what you like. Depends what you can afford, what you like. If you're financing, if you're leasing, you know, getting something at a used car lot, you gotta be careful at those places. You know, cars that have a lot of miles on them but are still in good shape. Then fucking, I had a Subaru that had over 200,000 miles on it. My Subaru was like over 200. It was over 200,000 miles already on it. I'm surprised that thing was still going the way it did. Nice is going hard in the safety market. Where does it leave Sidney Brown? Have faith in this? I mean, it really depends on when he comes back and what the Eagles look like by then. Because if safety looks fantastic, then they might have to move him around a little bit. Oh, the Raptors are beautiful, dude. I mean, that's a $90,000 vehicle, $90,000 to $100,000 vehicle. I wanted a Raptor so bad. The Ford Raptors, the regular Ford F-150 Raptor, whatever. The Bronco Raptor was amazing. I originally wanted a Bronco, not the Mexico Broncos, the actual like wild track Bronco or the Raptor Bronco. That's what I really wanted. But I was like, man, I'm gonna be paying like probably over $1,000 a month for that for that truck. So I was like, nah, maybe in a few years. Maybe in a few years I'll get one. You just find a vehicle that's being sold by an old person. Toyotas, Hondas. No. I know a lot of that's kind of where my business has flowed, like where my real job is. We deal with a lot of places that have salvage vehicles that are in really good condition. So yeah. A Mexican Bronco. So you know the Broncos, you know the Ford Broncos that are like, they don't look like the wide Broncos, like the Bronco SUVs. Those aren't actual Broncos. Those are yeah, they're technically Broncos, but they're really not. They're technically not even they're made, those Broncos are made in a different place. The actual, like, not the yeah, sorry. The Bronco Sport is not a Bronco. So type Bronco Sport, you'll know what I'm talking about when you see the SUV. The Bronco Sports are not technically Broncos. They're made in Mexico. And the regular Broncos are made in Michigan. So two totally different. Yo, Billy Scott, what's going on, man? Appreciate your chat. My boy Joey, the man, the myth, the legend. Hope all is well. I'm doing good, man. Just chilling. 5350Ds, anything with Coyote slap turbos on it and fly. Yeah, I mean, I have a Gladiator. I have a Jeep Gladiator Mojave. So it's black. It's all black top, black, like black and orange interior. It's really nice. Nice. I don't know. Car shopping is really exciting. It's awesome. It's stressful, but it's definitely something that's positive. You're a handsome man. You can make money on OnlyFans for elderly. They really Ford Escapes. Yeah, the Bronco Sports are not actual Broncos. They're the off-roading. They're actually not bad off-roading vehicles. Like, I'm not saying you could go through 10 fucking feet of snow, but they can get you through shit. Oh, Joey, the Ram 1500 TRX. I see a lot of people in my area with TRXs, and they're beautiful trucks. Beautiful trucks. All right, Paul, see you later, man. Yeah, I mean, I was going to end the stream anyway because I was already kind of done. So, but I mean, I appreciate everybody joining the chat today. I know the chat's been crazy today. So, appreciate everybody joining up. Make sure you hit the like button for the stream. Do appreciate it so much. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. We'll be streaming tomorrow. Same thing. All week, we'll be streaming every day this week. So, we'll be back for another one tomorrow. Franklin with the super chat says, if I hear you 35 to 12 tires on the flag of T, I'll fight you from a Jeep mechanic if. Yeah, dude. Oh, I think I got like 30. I think my tires are 33, 34 inch tires, I think. I got some pretty big tires. That thing is a desert runner. It can go through anything. Anything. Appreciate it, Pont. All right, guys, you guys have a fantastic day. Like up the video like crazy, sub like crazy, and we'll be back tomorrow for another stream. Definitely check out the memberships as well for extra content, all that great stuff. And I will see you guys on the next one. Enjoy it. Just remember, shake squat up, fly goes fly. And I'm going to try to get to the menu here if I can get to it. All right, guys, enjoy it. Peace out. Love you all. 5